The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network, live from MyBookie Studios. I'm your girl, Pilar Lastra, alongside DMac. DMac, welcome back.
Good to be back. Nice to see you guys.
Welcome back from the Gulf.
The Gulf.
The Gulf, in the words of Tom Azaway, who's here
belt
to
collected,
right.
too. You know, Kenny Omega's not the only one who's collecting belts on this weekend. So, you know what? I was busy. Brought home some treasures, though. So, but it's good to be back, you guys.
You got some hardware?
I got some hardware. You know how I roll.
I like it.
DMac Golf's for you.
That's right. That's the thing.
Absolutely. You guys, hey, nice to see. Maz, I was proud of you. You played nice with Easy yesterday.
I did.
You did.
You did, actually. You're
no,
right.
I don't think I didn't check the show out after, and that was fun. Easy, thanks for sitting in.
You did a good job.
You did.
You did.
You did.
For
I
him.
like the flow.
You know, for him.
For him.
There
well,
you
that's
go.
it.
There's a Tom Azaway on a Tuesday.
Yeah, just everybody was wondering that.
That's right.
Everybody's wondering, is that really Maz?
Yeah, how
no,
can
that's
it be nice
really
on a
Maz.
Tuesday? You're right. You're right.
Hey, did you see? Hey, we didn't even talk about it. You probably brought it up yesterday, but you know, I don't want to ruin anything. But did you see Tom's beautiful hand with all his rings and all that stuff?
Oh, we talked about.
Did
you see the one I put out?
Yeah, no, I understand, but that's just you being a hater. You should.
There's other haters, obviously.
No, there's a lot.
Because I didn't come up with that one.
No,
but it is
funny.
my description is all these years.
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, that's why we always say you're not alone, Tom.
You see, and Pilar fell for the old. She fell for the fake.
I did.
The fake Brady throw to the jugs machine.
I thought that
Did you see that one when he was
that
throwing?
was so real.
No, it's fake.
I know it's fake, Tom,
I thought
but
it
it's
was
so
real.
good.
I was like, why would he fake it? That's weird. Why would he fake it?
You know why?
But
It's
He's a
actually,
phony.
Pilar, it's actually real, but they got to tell everybody it's fake because then it would not be, you know, he's going to get 10 Super Bowls. I mean, that's why he's the GOAT. You and I
That's
know
right.
it
You're
was
right.
real.
It was real fake.
Real fake.
It was real fake. All right, guys. Make sure that you are hitting us up on our social media. We've got Andrew manning all of our social media at Woodward Sports across the board. We've got Fish in the Fish Bowl. You can give us a call, 313-552-6322, and it would be his lovely voice that's going to answer. So wink, wink. Give us a call, 313-552-6322. And, of course, we've got our boy Alex keeping us honest behind the glass, keeping our show moving along on track, like always. Aren't you, Alex? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Maz, why don't we kick things off with your sports update?
All righty. Brought to you by mybookie.ag.com as well. Don't forget, use that promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. So it's free money for you. Breaking news from the CDC, by the way, before we get into anything. It says they prefer, the CDC is going to announce that fully vaccinated Americans should return to wearing masks in indoor public settings due to the spread of the Delta variant. I just wanted to get that out to you so you know we give you information.
Why is it so hard to just keep your distance and wash your hands? If people could just keep their distance, why does everybody need to be on top of each other all the time?
Because that's the American way.
And you know what?
It's so
I would
invasive. And wash
suggest
your
probably
hands.
doing it just to the fact is that how much in reverse do we want to go? We know what it's like to be locked in the house. So we don't want to. Sorry to my Canadian brethren over there.
They're ready to open it up.
I know, August 9th. So you know, I mean,
are they going to change their mind?
I don't know. I don't know, Tom. I would refer to Pilar for our CDC.
I'm not sure
that's why I threw it out there.
I know. That's why we go. Hey, go with your strengths.
We go to her for our CDC updates.
It kills me, because I always follow see what's going on, and I know that the cases in Michigan have certainly gone up. We're now over 1,000. I think it was in a 3-day span. But it's the new Delta variant that's just kind of kicking everybody's butt right now.
But the kicker is it's the vaccinated people that are testing positive. So if they're okay, if they're protected, why are we even reporting that they even have it?
I know. And then, but in the media, you're seeing a lot of people saying that it's all the unvaccinated people that are in the hospital and still dying and all this stuff. I mean, look, the truth is that I feel both unvaccinated and vaccinated people can still get this Delta variant. So let's just be cool to one another and keep your distance, wash your hands, wear a face mask.
There you go. Info from the Hook on COVID. Let's get you some sports, folks. Tigers in Minnesota tonight. Tyler Alexander. It's a bullpen game, so Tyler gets the ball first. Kenta Maeda going for the Twinks at 8-10. Tigers lost their fourth in a row last night, 6-5 and 10.
Eight losses on the road.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
and six in a row to the Twins.
That 6-0 lead they blew.
And that was a killer.
That would have made them 8-1 in the last 9 games, and you just can't do that because they're not mature enough.
Nope.
To go through it. It's
not only that,
sad.
our guy Robbie Grossman ties it up in the 9th with a 2-run homer.
I know.
And they go and lose it anyway. Miggy, at least he had something last night. Hit his 8th of the year, career number 495.
Here's the 1-0. Fly ball deep right field. That ball is gone, number 495. And the Tigers have tied it up.
I love when you just watch the outfielder, right? And he doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
He moves.
One swing can
that
make
one
the
you had
thing.
to think for a minute, but he really wasn't on it.
He wasn't
I love
moving.
the highlights of that.
So Miggy, the countdown. Do we have that countdown at Comerica? The Comerica is starting to get ready for history. Take a look. Look what they have up there.
Wow.
They've got the countdown to the Miggy milestone, 5 for 500, and of course closing in on 3,000 hits. That will be at Comerica Park when they come home on Thursday. The Orioles will be in town. By the way, the MLB trade deadline Friday at 4 o'clock. A couple of teams that are very active, the Tampa Bay Rays and the San Diego Padres, possibly the Yankees as well. But those are the ones that are really you're hearing a lot of rumors from. So it's always fun. Love the MLB trade deadline. Can't wait till the Tigers are players in that. Lion veterans reported to camp today. They practice starting tomorrow. Of course, the rookies have been there since Saturday. Lions open the preseason Friday, August 13th at home against the Bills. Just 3 preseason games this year, remember. 17 regular season battles. Going to be fun. The NFL Hall of Fame game just 10 days away. That's the Steelers and Cowboys from Canton. Aaron Rodgers reported to camp this morning. He and the Packers closing in on a deal that will going to allow him to play with Green Bay this season, obviously, but to leave on his own terms next year. And supposedly he's restructuring his contract, so Devontae Adams could get some money and possibly bringing back his old buddy, Randall Tex Cobb.
I heard that.
Oh,
I
I
heard
would love to
rumors
see
that
that.
he did say bring back Randall Cobb. So
You want to play with your buddies, right? If you're
Well,
making demands,
hey, if you're
Have some
bring
fun,
my friend
right.
in.
Did you not see the tweet of him and Devontae Adams sent out to Michael Jordan and Scottie
The
Pippen, The
Last
Last
Dance.
Dance? So if they're going to do The Last Dance, they're Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they're going out in Bolivian style, shooting and banging. And this is good for Lions fans. This is
Absolutely.
why. Because this isn't our year.
No.
Let him have his shine. Let's cheer him on, and then he's gone.
That's what I told you guys. I've been telling you that.
I think
We're going to
Yeah,
have more
I've
in the
been
Big
telling
Hook.
them.
I got a lot. Dan Orlovsky will speak in the Big Hook.
The Messiah.
Yes, the Messiah. That's right. Pistons on the clock for Thursday's NBA draft. Cade Cunningham, the consensus number 1. By the way, he gets a deal with Nike. He'll believe to be the highest earning shoe deal in the draft this year. So the kid is a Nike guy. Vegas in NHL trading Vezina-winning goalie Marc-Andre Fleury to Chicago for minor leaguer. Fleury might retire instead of going. It was either him or Robin Lehner that's going to be traded, and they trade him. But Vegas hasn't even talked to him about this, Mac.
Yeah, that's not good business.
No.
So, yeah, well,
We'll talk a little bit later on that.
And in opposite of how things are done, the reason we were sitting here with the expansion draft because we didn't have Detroit's pick wasn't because it wasn't released. It was because Steve Yzerman and the Detroit Red Wings have the class enough that they hadn't got a hold of Dennis Cholowski and let him know, and so asked. And that goes to show you the class of not only him but Steve Yzerman too, or Ron Francis.
Yes.
Right. So those are two of the classiest guys that play
No doubt.
the game of hockey. So. That's the way to do it. This really isn't because it could bite you in the long run.
Alex Ovechkin's back with the Caps. 5 years, $47.5 million. Let's get your Tokyo Olympic update. There you go, Fish. Team USA men's hoops tomorrow. They're taking on Iran. The Americans lost to France on Sunday. They're a 42-point favorite. The U.S. women, meanwhile, they won their 50th in a row. They beat Nigeria 81-72. Japan beat the U.S. this morning in softball 2-0.
Were you
They
watching,
take the
Maz?
gold. I saw it.
Were you watching it live?
I watched it live.
Yay.
They took the gold. The Americans take the silver. Very disappointing for those girls. They wanted to win it this year. They beat Japan yesterday in a game that didn't mean anything, and the champs
It
Japan
actually
beat them
did
today.
mean something. It meant for who bats first, home
right,
field.
home field. Even though you know who was the home team.
Japan.
Of course. Russia beat the U.S. in the team gymnastics final, but Simone Biles bowed out with a medical issue. She's good, She's good. The U.S. settles for the silver. Let's put her picture up. See, she even stayed there. She quit the team. Well, she took off the rest of the Olympics, but she stayed there with her team and wound up getting the silver after. We're going to talk a little bit about this a little bit later. By the way, Naomi Osaka, tennis is number 2, and, of course, Japan's darling. She got knocked out in the 3rd round as well. So a lot of pressure on those young girls. The U.S., by the way, leads the medal count with 22. 9 of them are gold, including 1 in surfing. The U.S. won surfing.
We did.
We won the gold in surfing. China is second with 20. Russia has 18. Let's take you on this day in sports, except we're going to do it last night. Let me set the scene for you. It's the Reds and Cubs. A couple of weeks ago, Javi Baez gets into it with this Reds pitcher, Amir Garrett. They show each other up. So let's take you to last night's game. Check this out.
Back, you go 2019 and Garrett barking.
That was the last time they saw each other.
And Javi didn't like it. The bench
Now
is
you're gonna
empty
see-
and got heated. Then this year, and he barked a bit at Rizzo, and Baez didn't like him talking at his teammate that way.
Okay, this is last night now.
Yeah, they're chatting already.
Garrett ready, deals. Drilled in the air, center field.
Javi is just staring at Garrett.
And that is that. And Baez
Rowing the boat?
let Garrett know.
Oh my, okay.
I love baseball.
Baez tossed the bat. Garrett picked it up.
Karma.
The celebration is on.
He's pissed. Like, he's
yeah.
not even really able to celebrate with his team. Look at him.
He will now.
And the Cubs win it 6-5.
He's going to shake it off.
There he goes. You have to round the bases yet. Get to first base. He did.
One pitch. That's all it took.
That's it. And guess what? They play again tonight. Look out. I think we'll be revisiting this tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is the emotional excitement of baseball and stuff, and it's, karma. So.
They don't forget, man.
No, they don't.
You don't forget
they
either.
Don't. Yeah.
Don't you always check the guy's number that hits you? You just look over your shoulder. Okay.
Well, there's a terminology in hockey is take a number, which means get them later because you don't want to take a penalty or different times in the game. Pilar, little lesson is that
take a number like at the deli counter, Matt.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Right?
There's also videotape.
But here's the thing, because as the game gets out of hand, 3-1, 4-1 later in the game, your number at the deli is coming up. Right? And it might, and here's the thing, the anticipation of death's worse than death itself, so it might be a close.
It's
it
time
might be
for their knuckle sandwich.
It might be a close, yeah, you got it. But it might be a close game, so you might let it go. But guys know. When you least expect it, expect it. So you don't want to cost the team, but and that's so apropos in junior hockey or in the minor leagues as the game gets out of hand. You got to get on the score sheet somehow.
Yeah.
Penalty minutes work.
There you go, guys. I got more coming up a little bit later.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maz.
All right, guys. So coming up on the big hook, the Lions are back as training camp has started. We're going to be talking about that. What do you want to see happen during this training camp? There's so much to look for. We're trying to find out what's going to happen with Dan Campbell's coaching style. What's the impact of Jared Goff? Who's going to be the emerging wide receiver? What changes are going to be made to this defense? We got a new coordinator there. I mean, there's so much to look for. How good is our offensive line going to really be? What are you guys looking for the most during this training camp? Hit us up at Woodward Sports. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit of Aaron Rodgers, of course. Is he finally getting his way? Sort of, somewhat?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think so. All right, guys, stick around. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. So it really does start to feel like football, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it feels like it is finally here. Not mini camps. I mean, it's training camp.
Feels a little fallish out there today.
It does.
You're right.
It does.
It's
It's a little.
hot.
It's a
You're
little
right.
less humid. It feels.
That's
feels
football
different.
weather in the air, and that's because training camp is beginning. And
It was 95 yesterday. Just to remind everyone.
It wasn't that bad. I
It
feel
was
like
hot.
I mean, well, we had tornadoes on Saturday, so whatever. It's
all
it
I
is what
saw
it is.
is
Welcome to the Michigan
on
weather
my
this summer.
text,
It's
I
crazy.
saw capitals. SCS is underwater.
That's it.
I mean, for
St. Clair
real.
Shores. You guys are the best. Drove through
Everything
wheel
was.
high water on Saturday.
Woodward Avenue was crazy too. Everything was underwater on Saturday. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. But today is a fall feel-like day. Well, it does sure as heck feel like football's back, guys, because that is the truth. So the Lions start their training camp. What are you guys most looking forward to seeing during training camp?
Well, they start practice tomorrow. You know, I loved back in the day going to see these things as a reporter back in the radio days and watching these guys, how hard they work, how hot it is, and how you feel bad for them. And then they come off the field and they'd get themselves inside a bucket of ice. Literally put their bodies in a bucket of ice. And I was like, oh, my, you know, and we'd be interviewing them as they're sitting in that ice. Mac, have you had an ice bath?
Okay, let me give you a
Go ahead.
TikTok hack on the ice bath.
Go ahead.
The key to the ice bath is a cup, right? A large coffee cup that you put warm water in, and you stick your junk in that big
Honest to
ass.
God?
Stick it in there so that when you get into the water, you don't turtle up. And then the worst part is getting your balls in the water, and it's like, you know, like going in the water. But if you put the warm in, it's a lot easier to go in.
Are you serious?
I swear to God,
That sounds correct.
That is
I mean,
a
it
cold
doesn't
tub
sound
hack.
too far out of the question. Never heard that. Just do it. I mean, is
Well,
some
I get it. When you're younger, it's
apparently
easier
you
too.
What the hell kind of cup are you using?
You get
He
like
just
the
told
large
you a coffee
I
cup.
mean, are you using a mug? I mean, is it a?
It's a
Y'all
styrofoam. It's about this big.
Okay.
Yeah, is it?
Y'all are weird, guys. Y'all are
DMac, is that a real
Whatever,
thing?
hey, size appropriate. Whatever
I
you
guess
can
so.
put warm water in and
Yeah.
get it to stay on there as you go into like very freezing cold water.
Now, do you drop the cup once you're in there?
No,
DMac,
the
is that a
couple,
real-
like the couple sort of
does
form
it matter?
figure.
You're
It
never
does.
gonna
It's
take
still
an
warm.
ice
So
bath
you
in your
imagine,
lifetime,
every time if anybody, what's the first thing is when you get in, if you go into the water, it's cold. It's like, where's it come? It comes from your. Dude, trust me on this.
DMac, is that a real hack? Is that a real thing?
Fish.
On TikTok?
Fish. I don't lie, man.
Okay.
No, it's not a TikTok hack. It's a Red Wings
TikTok
dressing
hack?
room hack.
You guys are out on
It's
the
a
ice,
Chris
man.
Chelios hack.
You guys are on the ice, so you can't be
Dude, I'm
possibly.
Canadian. What?
You can't possibly be as hot as the football players that are working outdoors.
Do you know how hot the ice is, dude? When it comes playoff time, you can't wear a shirt underneath your equipment. It's on the ice during the summertime or whatever. It's 75 degrees, 80 degrees.
But is it 110
no,
like
no,
it is
those
outside?
guys are fine, but we need it for the. There's car crashes going on in hockey too, Maz.
I know, man. I'm
Well,
just trying to compare it,
there
man.
you go, guys.
No,
The next time
there's no
any
comparison,
of
but
you-
except that human beings, if you're male, trust the warm cup hack.
Okay.
There you go. There you go for all you
Well,
male human beings out there that might need to take a freezing cold ice bath.
so getting back to the
DMac's
what
got you covered.
what you want to
So
watch
what
on the
we
field.
wanted to talk about was
Well, we had who'd we talk to yesterday? We talked to Dave Burkett yesterday, and we're just talking about training camp and what to look forward to. You got 10 new starters on offense. You got a brand new offensive line. The defense is all brand new as well. Special teams, and you got a whole brand new coaching staff. So it's gonna be fun to see how these guys react to this all-star coaching staff. And all-star, what I mean is that most of them were players, and it's going to be a different type of feel, especially for the active players, listening to the old Warriors.
But just listen to some of the veterans, and obviously when you're younger and you don't know, but when you see your veterans and you hear them like Trey Flowers saying that the attitude's contagious, and what the attitude is work, 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 work. So the fact that these guys want to win, they know that everybody knows what everybody is saying about them. So if they have any pride in themselves, they're going to try to get this together as quick as they can. And in my opinion, when you have former players, it adds some sort of respect, and the fact that you're going in and you're going to outwork everybody, you're going to have some hiccups along the way. The talent's not there, but it will come. But you got to solidify that foundation, and that's exactly what I think going into training camp is exciting, right? Because everybody's excited. You remember a few years ago, everybody was dreading going to training camp. Right, so I think it's part of the new regime, and there's going to be ups and downs, but I think it's the attitude, right? And the attitude starts with the head coach.
I was saying, I think that that's what people are looking for as far as what they're going to see out of Coach Campbell now, right? You know, he's bringing fun back into the game. I know a lot of people are really anxious to see who the emerging wide receiver is going to be, right? Because we don't know who that guy is going to be here without Galladay.
Well, Terrell Williams and Dave Burkett said he's the clear number one. Amon St. Brown is going to come in from USC and
we got
be
the
a
new
competitor.
guys too,
and be a competitor. You got Quintez Cephas is going to have another chance to show himself, and then you got Rashad Perriman, who I think is going to. Well, I think it's his put-up, shut-up year, but I really think he's going to do well this year. I got a hunch on that kid.
I mean, every single one of these guys has the potential to be the breakout guy.
Opportunity.
His dad's old team. By the way, Tom Pelissero saying the Packers are indeed working on a trade with the Texans to bring in Randall Cobb. That is closing in. It's going to happen.
Ooh.
Yep, so Randall Cobb going back to Green Bay.
Keep you up to date on that.
If we're going to talk about, this is Aaron Now, why is Aaron playing ball? Because it's sort of, we're going to go out, but he's going to give them everything on the way out. Now they're playing ball a little bit with him, right? Now he's getting his way a little bit, so he act a little. I think that they're going to be really, really, really good, and if they win the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's fun it's cool that you say that, but our man Dan Orlovsky, he doesn't quite agree with you on that. Listen to him today. From First Take.
Great segue.
From a football standpoint, assuming this gets done today, as Shefty is suggesting it might, and we all think now it feels like it's headed that way. What impact do you think this has on that football team's ability to win a Super Bowl this year?
They're a championship roster. They're no longer a championship team. And there's a big difference. This is still a very talented football team, but the distraction of this whole offseason, and this is going to continue to be a distraction. I mean, think about being in that building and this football team starting 0-2 or 1-3 or going through a 2-game losing streak. The eggshells that they're going to be walking around and going, okay, is the quarterback ticked off? Like, that is going to be an issue week after week, and that's why I don't think that they are a championship football team. I don't question Aaron's commitment. I think he's still going to be an absolute rock star. I just don't see how they can handle all this stuff through this locker room. Coaches, front office people, everybody, and sit there and go, we're a championship football team. Camaraderie is the biggest part of that, and I don't think it's there anymore.
Dan Orlovsky on the early show, of course, with Mike Greenberg. That would be Get Up. So I said First Take, I meant Get Up. But there you go. Danny O says they're going to be a great bunch of players, but not possibly a team, Mac.
No, I disagree. I think
is that him showing up to practice?
That's him today.
That's
Aaron Rodgers walking in.
I disagree, right, in the fact that they're all got the apples in one basket. I think that if you press his teammates, they knew more, like Devontae Adams, of more of a plan.
David Bakhtiari,
all his veteran guys. So I think Orlovsky's off. I think that the fact, because it was always management versus team. It was Aaron versus the GM, or Aaron versus nobody in the room. And when you're of that caliber of Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that, I think that they knew the way he's going to act. It's not going to change. It's one more year. So everybody's do what it takes to win this year.
So, well, let me ask you this then, DMac. One of the things that Dan said was that everybody's going to feel like they're walking on eggshells. Do you think that, I'll tell you why, because if he's not happy, is he just going to throw in the towel and say, screw it, guys?
No.
You guys aren't where you're supposed to be. I'm trying to get you guys the ball. Nobody's giving me 110%. If he gets frustrated and he throws in the towel, does he just quit on the team because he's out next week?
So trade him early. It's not.
But
he's
DMac,
going
they didn't want to trade him
It's
now.
not on Aaron Rodgers
They're
whether he's
gonna
going to
try to
quit or
make
he's
him-
not going to quit or he's going to play or not.
you
He's
don't
got a
think-
mission that because he knows that he put the spotlight on himself, that he's taking more of the control. So he's more taking the ball, saying, "Hey, look it, I got control of my wide receiver. You want control of that? No, that's my guy like this, and go get me this guy."
Right.
So he's got a plan. He ain't going to shut down to nothing because his next plan is this isn't his final destination. This is it.
But don't
This
you
is
think
done.
that? Don't you think
He-
though that the Green Bay
I'd see
Packers?
him like he might push them to trade him earlier
No, but don't you think that the objective here is for the Green Bay Packers
to win this year.
not just to win? I think that that's Aaron Rodgers' objective is to win this year. But don't you think that the Green Bay Packers want to mend this relationship and hopefully say, look, we're going to reevaluate it at the end of the year, which is what their contract is going to say, and you want to stay. We want to make you happy. We'll bring in the weapons
Who's
that
got
you
the
want.
power?
Aaron Rodgers
Thank
does.
you.
But don't you think that the Green Bay
So is Aaron
Packers
Rodgers
are
gonna-
going to maybe he
So
does.
when you have
if
the
he's
power,
happy,
you control your own destiny. Then that's
This is
usually doesn't
win-win
quit.
here. This is win-win.
Right.
He's
It's
here.
win-
He's going for the championship.
Right. They
We all
realize
know.
what I see is Green Bay's executives realize that we're screwed, but you know what? We can bring a championship to this team. Let's just give in
Sure.
to whatever it is a little bit and have the best Aaron Rodgers coming where everybody's going to be gung-ho with the team. I don't think the locker room you can win back. Right, by your play and by winning games. So I don't think that
but
there's
what
guys.
if they lose games? What if they're not winning
Well,
games?
let's see how they react and how Aaron's
They'll win.
swarmy attitude
have
is
to
in the
win.
media.
They will win. Who's going to beat him in that division?
Have to win.
Who's going to beat him?
The Lions.
Okay. Okay. He
The
gets another year
Lions,
with Jordan
though.
Love under him. I mean,
Yeah.
this is win-win.
Yeah,
They
so
can't
they had
lose.
to go through all that too.
Yeah.
The process said, okay,
I'll
we
tell
can
you
mentor
this.
him.
Matt LaFleur ain't going to make the last-minute decision like he did last year.
No, that's
Aaron
what-
Rodgers is going to call that
That's
last
what he
play.
just did.
Exactly.
He just made sure everybody in the whole
Yep.
football world knows who runs
I'm
that
doing
team this year.
For
Yep.
sure.
This year.
There's going to be a lot
For
of
sure.
Omaha at the line. I can promise you that.
Absolutely.
They're going to be
Him
doing a
and-
lot.
Yeah.
And Field Yates, who's really good. So what do you get when you keep a guy like Aaron Rodgers? We all know he's a Hall of Famer to be, but Field Yates kind of breaks down what A-Rod is to the Packers.
While the Packers' Aaron Rodgers standoff has been in the spotlight all offseason, let's not forget, the man is irreplaceable. He has the highest touchdown percentage and lowest interception rate of any player since the 1970 merger. Yes, no one has thrown a touchdown more often and a pick less often than Rodgers. Sure, the league has changed over the years, but whether you're talking all-time greats like Bradshaw and Staubach, Marino and Elway, Montana and Favre, Peyton, Breeze, or Brady, it's Rodgers in a league of his own. He sports one of the most unique skill sets ever at the position, which allows him to use the entire field. With his mobility, he can throw from anywhere. Since the Packers' first Super Bowl season with Rodgers, he leads the NFL in touchdown passes outside the pocket, only 19 more than anyone else in the league. Then there's his arm strength. No throw is out of range, from deep ball dimes to his iconic Hail Marys. He has more touchdowns on deep throw. We're talking at least 20 yards downfield than any quarterback in the last decade plus. And his pinpoint accuracy allows him to take advantage of every inch of the field. He's a master of the back shoulder throw, a sideline maestro. No wonder he's thrown more touchdown passes on throws outside the field numbers than anyone else in the league since 2010. He's arguably the best at all of these high degree of difficulty throws. So with a quarterback that can beat you every which way, yeah, I'd say he's irreplaceable.
He is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Field Yates on ESPN. I think everyone knows what Aaron Rodgers brings to that Packers. They're the class of the North. I got a couple of guys on Twitter here and on YouTube saying, Mike G especially, he says the Vikings could beat the Packers. No, they can't. Vikings cannot beat the Packers. They will not beat the Packers. Packers
Do you
will
know
lose
who can
3
beat the
games this year.
Packers?
What, themselves?
Tampa Bay and Tom Brady.
Well, they did. They did. They did when it counted.
On a Tuesday, on a Tom Brady Tuesday for Tom Mazaway. All right, guys, keep letting us know your thoughts on social media. What do you think is going to happen to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers this year? Do you think that it's going to be their year and they're going to make it to Super Bowl? Do you think that the
14-3.
Packers are going to be able to make Aaron Rodgers happy, make him want to stay for longer than this year? Keep hitting us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. When we come back, is Golden Tate trying to hint something? Is he trying to tell us that maybe, just maybe, he's thinking about coming back to Detroit?
I hope so.
I hope so,
on
too.
my way.
I'm on my way.
Home,
Yep.
sweet
We missed our
home.
calling.
I texted
Well,
him
you
today.
got
That
your
was pretty
calling.
good, Vince Neil.
Yeah, you think
that
so?
was high. That was good.
All right, guys, y'all don't want to go anywhere. Stick around. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Yeah. D-Mac's back with Coast, and he's got his machete. Because this is my favorite out of all the Coast. You can get lamps, you can get cups, headlamps, knives, everything. And coastportland.com. Go check out all their stuff today and use WSN 20 for 20% off. And they've given me permission to give away some gift certificates, and that's on Friday. So hashtag how we Coast. I'll pick out, tell me how you do it. I've had from Tammy using her headlight for Petoskey stones to Kevin using it around to whack some weeds. These are good for weed whacking. Anyways, check out coastportland.com today and tell them DMac sent you.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. All right, guys, keep hitting us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. And, of course, make sure that you are downloading our app, sharing it, liking it, putting some comments up there. Woodward Sports, you can find it in the Apple Store. You can find it in the Android Store. I love some of these comments. Jeremy on Facebook is on fire today. He actually said he doesn't care if it's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers until either of them come to Detroit and win a Super Bowl. Neither is a GOAT, JK. I mean, but for real, though. If you can come to Detroit and win us the Super Bowl, then you are a real GOAT. So if Jared Goff can get it done here, he will become the instant GOAT. But going back to Golden Tate, he just put something up on his Twitter. Let's go on ahead and show this quick video that he put up.
There's no sound. If there was sound, I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted music, but
that's fine.
All right.
There he is. If you notice, all of the highlights are him as a Detroit Lion, not as a New York Giant.
Well,
I'm told that he later on posted other clips of him in Giants gear.
Well, we don't care. We already saw this.
Man, I
why didn't he post anything of him in Seattle gear?
Yeah, he didn't put anything out for Seahawks either.
He may have, but I just know that later on he posted him in Giants gear, same package format, just in Giants instead
What'd
of
you say,
Lions.
Alex?
I want to know what you texted Golden Tate today.
I asked him to come on the show today. We used to do a show with together back in the day, once a week. So I reached out to him. He didn't write me back, but I'm going to keep trying.
Does he know who you are?
Well, we used to work together. I think he would remember me.
Everybody who's come through Detroit knows him.
Knows Tom Mazaway, no question.
He would remember.
So Jeremy on our social media also wrote, I think showing highlights from Detroit is because the rest of his career was mostly low lights. He's retiring.
He was pretty good in Seattle, I thought.
I thought he was great in Seattle.
He was.
I think that it
Got
was
a big
just
deal
a
in Detroit.
bittersweet ending between him and the Seattle Seahawks.
I think the Lions would do really well to have him on the team.
I think as development and as a possession receiver and
as a
what
leader.
he can do and as a leader, and for Jared Goff, I think he'd be an asset.
For sure. I think if the price is right, you bring that guy in. But, it's going to have to be like right now because training camp starts tomorrow. Practice starts tomorrow. Another guy that's not in camp is the number one pick of the Jets. That's Zach Wilson. You know he hasn't signed his contract yet? I mean, you guys, you get slotted in. If you're the number 2, number 3 guy, I don't understand what the hell. How is he not signed yet?
You tell me that's your Jets.
Yeah.
He's going to get his ass kicked if you don't get
no,
in
but
there.
He's going to get his
if
butt
he's
kicked
slotted
in real
why
life
is he not
playing for the Jets. Are you kidding me?
What are they reporting, Maz?
They're just reporting it might be a signing bonus thing and all that. How much? It can't be that much squabbling.
He knows. This is the thing. He knows that the
He's
chances
going
of
to get
him
murdered.
being successful
maybe
there
being
and
back
being able.
and realize after hanging out with all the big fellas that he should.
Listen, he got on the phone with Sam Darnold, and Sam said, "Listen, bro, you better sign your money now because 2 years into it, you're going to have nothing on tape to show to try and get a better deal. Get your money now.
You got it. That's weird a little bit.
Maybe his good-looking mom is holding out to get on like the Real Housewives of New York. Is there still a Real Housewives of New York
Like
going
you
on?
don't know. Listen,
Because
see
you know
how he
you
said
watch.
that.
Just like he watches the Olympics volleyball just because he calls it body ball.
Hey, I
But
got
he
news for
watches
you.
the dudes the same way, Pilar. So you know what? He's a true fan of body ball.
Oh, by the way, I got news out of Green Bay.
Oh.
The Packers have released
Aaron Rodgers.
Blake Bortles.
Oh, just kidding.
Blake Bortles has more playoff wins in the last 5 years than Aaron Rodgers does. Blake Bortles.
Wow.
Anyway, he's looking for a new job. So Blake, he gone.
Yeah.
He gone.
He'll be picked up pretty quick.
I think so.
Blake Bortles has more
Yes.
playoff wins than Aaron Rodgers in the last 5 years.
Yes, he took the Jags to the AFC Championship. They were
So,
like
okay,
they were
but
3 minutes.
They had a phenomenal defense.
They were 3 minutes away from the
Last
Super Bowl.
You're telling me Aaron Rodgers only has 1 or 2 wins in the last 5 years?
Look it
playoff
up,
wins
bro.
in the last 5 years?
Look it up.
Look it
Andrew,
up. Let
fact
us
check that, please.
Go ahead, look it up.
Oh, we got
Fact
official
check.
Alex's edition. It's a fact check on
Go ahead,
Madison.
fact check me.
Fact check.
Blake
Fact
Bortles
check.
playoff wins in the last 5
Fact
years
check.
versus Aaron
Fact
Rodgers,
check.
or the last 4 years,
Fact
whatever
check.
the heck it is.
Fact check. Fact check. Fact check. Wiki, fact check.
my
That's going on my
goodness.
soundboard.
Fact check. Fact check.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen there with Blake Bortles.
I'd rather
I think
have
that he'll
Golden
have
Tate
no
than Blake
problem.
Bortles.
Yeah, me too. Hey, there's more
I mean,
reports
yeah.
for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
and we're getting
so-
ready to have a really great guest on, a new guest to Woodward Sports, Dan Lust. What a name, huh?
You make friends all over the place,
He
man.
does.
Okay, I have the statistic.
Okay.
What's your statistic? Go ahead.
Blake Bortles has 2 wins. Aaron Rodgers had 2 wins. They both tied.
Okay.
Oh.
So
they're
they have the
tied.
same amount of wins.
All right, guys. Well, when we
Way to
come back,
bust
we've
Max.
got
Way to bust
sports
Max's
attorney
bubble with facts.
who's been heard across ESPN, CBS, and Fox Sports. We've got Dan Lust coming on the show. So y'all don't go anywhere. You guys make this. Yup.
Deshaun Watson in more trouble. And
All right.
lots more to talk about. Trevor Bauer. How about the Cleveland Guardians? They named their team the Guardians. Guess what? There's another Cleveland Guardians.
No.
Yes. Washington
this
football
something like-
team. There's a guy that has every single name that they want to use trademarked already.
That's
So this guy owns
ridiculous.
Guardians.
Yes, he owns everything. He owns everything.
Ridiculous.
Wait, we got Dan Lust, the sports attorney to the stars, coming up
Yeah.
next.
Awesome.
Don't go anywhere. You guys are tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Joining our show today, we've got sports attorney. You've heard him across ESPN, CBS, Fox Sports, Dan Lust. Dan, welcome to The Hook. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Dan.
What's up, Dan?
My pleasure. You guys have a lot of fun over there. I'm not used to this. This is some fun stuff.
Oh, it's a shit show, bro. It's a shit show. Welcome to The Hook.
Hey, we got to congratulate Dan. He just had a baby. His wife had a baby girl this past weekend.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Pilar's in the baby world, too. Her youngest just turned a
Why
year
is no one
today.
else clapping?
We clapped. We congratulated them
We were
already.
clapping. That's fish
I
in
heard
the fishbowl.
I think it's a condolences to my sleep schedule. I think
There
that's
you
where we're
go.
at this point.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Is that your first child?
My second. We had another girl about 2 years ago. So 202.
That was me.
I'm
That
3
was
for
me.
3 on girls. Don't worry, man. It's all right. It doesn't get easier, by the way. Sorry.
I got 4 girls.
Well, so you know that in about 3 months it gets easier. You start to get some sleep back, but you never really get sleep back till they're about 18, right? And then you start losing sleep for other reasons. So.
No doubt.
But
No doubt.
congratulations on the newest addition to your family, Dan. So let's talk a little bit about what is going on in the world of sports. I mean, we'll go on ahead and start off with the new New breaking news that's going on with Deshaun Watson. Now it's 10 women, 2 of them that are not in the original lawsuit, being represented by Tony Busby, that have filed complaints with the Houston Police Department regarding Deshaun Watson. I mean, we feel like there's just a little bit of good news for him as far as him not being on the commissioner's exempt list, and now things could really take a turn for the worst.
Yeah, so I guess a couple things here. I don't know if we've had any good news on the Deshaun Watson front since this whole saga started. People are coming in and asking, like, hey, shouldn't he have already been placed on the commissioner's exempt list? And the fact that he hasn't been placed on it, doesn't that kind of bode well for his future? And I've kind of to point out, right, like, there was nothing really pushing Roger Goodell to put him on that commissioner's exempt list, which is a form of paid leave. The Texans would be paying his salary, he just wouldn't be playing. That's the same deal which we'll get into, I'm sure, with Trevor Bauer. Dodgers are paying his salary. He's not pitching every 5th day. So, why is Bauer placed on that administrative leave list? Because they're in the middle of the season, right? It makes the logo, the MLB baseball logo, look pretty bad if Bauer's out there and having to answer questions about sexual assault. Now, Watson hasn't reported to camp up until this past week when he decided that he was going to show up instead of getting hit with a $50,000 fine. So, at least the way I view it, I think the clock has started to tick this week for Watson, really a decision to be made to be placed in the commissioner's exempt list. That bar is set very low, does not require criminal charges. Basically, if Goodell is worried about you injuring the Shield and making the Shield look bad, on answering hard questions about sexual assault after press conferences, after practice, yeah, he's probably going to put you on there. So if I'm a betting man, which, Tom, you know that I am, I'd probably be looking at him getting placed in that next couple.
Well, that was always a thing, Dan, that I had is in the last few months, I'd come in every day and say anything on Deshaun Watson because it was sort of hush-hush up until I thought was such a cagey move by Tony Busby and leaking or sending out the Twitter, the Instagram.
He was getting his massage.
When he's getting his massage and saying everything like that. Was it always going to wait? Because until training camp started, that's when the clock started for Roger Goodell, if we're going to think like him. Because as we know, the NFL governs all. And it's just the fact that they've held steadfast with the vaccine and all that, but haven't said anything to this. Did that spark it up, or was it always coming down to training camp before a decision would be made?
I mean, at least as far as I know, Deshaun Watson has not spoken to the NFL investigation crew. They've spoken to a handful of the alleged victims, but not to Deshaun Watson. I think if ideally you were running this investigation, you'd speak to Watson first. You'd kind of lay out his story, make him maybe sign some type of sworn statement, and then you'd cross-reference that with what the alleged victims say. And then you go back to Watson and say, hey, why don't these two statements line up? So I think they're doing him a little bit of a favor by bringing him in last. Maybe, it's a volunteer investigation. Watson does not have to go. But that said, if Watson chooses not to participate, Goodell could still suspend him, and that wasn't contingent on camp starting or anything like that. Darren, I will say that Tony Busby Instagram post is very funny, and just so people know, it's not really that normal that lawyers are litigating a case on Instagram. And mind you, it's not that normal to take a picture with your masseuse. So Tony Busby, that was a little bit of a weird move, my friend.
I feel that the way Tony Busby is kind of handling this is just a bit unprofessional, and it's almost tacky to me to be going to TMZ, to be doing low blows like that on
I told
Instagram.
you, remember Johnny Cochran? He got old. I mean, this is how you do it now. In a high-profile case, these guys know what they're doing.
We're going to see if he knows what he's doing.
He does.
We'll know in a year.
Let's
ask you, Dan.
It's a good question. Here's the thing, right? A good lawyer, your real obligation here is to kind of maybe set the bar low and then exceed expectations. So Tony Busby's first introduction to the public, I know him from the Clemens case. He had, Harden's been involved in the Clemens case, but Busby's had some big, heavy-hitting, multi-million dollars. I've known his name before. But for the sports fan, right, Tony Busby comes out and he goes, okay, guys, I'm here to defend my clients. We're not going to say that much in the press. We're going to let our filings do the talking for us. But don't worry, we will not litigate this case in the press. And then for the next couple of weeks, right, what did Tony Busby do? He litigates it in the press conferences. But then he does a little bit of a twist, right? He becomes Mr. Instagram lawyer and posting pictures with him and his masseuse and calling Deshaun Watson a horny teenage boy, which is, I don't know the wisdom in that, but from a legal perspective, if people are wondering how we can draw from, these types of comments of Busby online where we're at, So I know there was a report by Rich Eisen during the draft that the parties got close on a global settlement. That would have been all 20-plus civil cases would have been wound into one settlement. So I guess, talks kind of fizzled out. Some cheap shots at one another in the press. All I say is this. I've had cases, hundreds of cases that have settled. We're about to sign on the dotted line, and I've given you the information how to send me a lot of money, right? What I am not doing is going to the press and calling your client a horny teenage boy, okay? That tells you that the sides are very far apart because you don't make those types of comments, you're very far.
Dan Lust joins us, sports attorney to the stars. You can check him out on Twitter at SportsLawLust. I want to ask you about yesterday, Deshaun Watson and his lawyer, Rusty Hardin, say Deshaun doesn't want to settle. He doesn't want he wants to tell his story. What story can he tell? And now there's 22 cases, add 2 more on. So he's got 24 women accusing him of being a naughty teenage boy.
I mean, here's the thing. We know the story, right? We know the defenses already. Everyone put their cards out there in the first week. It's a he said, she said type deal, right? They're saying it's not consensual. He's saying it's consensual. That's the gist of it, unless Watson wants to say that he doesn't know some of these women and some of these women are just making up the whole event. But at least for the ones that he is acknowledging he had some interaction with, he's saying it was consensual. So I don't know what benefit Deshaun Watson gains by telling his story that it was consensual, because we know what the other side's saying, that it wasn't consensual. So I'll give you, again, a little bit of the tea leaf so I can give you the kind of hard-hitting stuff. Guys, the depositions in this case were set for February of 2022. I imagine that was a request by Watson's side to not have depositions during the course of the season. That's going to be after the Super Bowl. Now, why does Tony Busby agree to such a far date for depositions? I don't know, probably so we can create some type of a runway, a couple of months to try to settle this case. Once you get the depositions, the bets are off, because then Watson's going to have a chance to tell a story. And guess what? If it's bad, he can't get it back in terms of the public conscience. But we'll always know what he said under depositions. It always finds a way of coming out. So, yeah, I think this case has 2 probably decision points to settle, maybe 3. 1 before the lawsuit was filed. That's how 90% of these cases get settled, and you guys never know about them. Or before depositions, or before trial. I really have a hard time seeing this go to trial. If it does, guys, I mean, this will take literally a year plus to resolve. So I think Watson's better off trying to resolve this. The guy makes hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know what it's going to take to settle the case, but more quickly he can come to a resolution, the more quickly he can put this behind him. I don't see any type of benefit to actually litigating this case. I don't think that bodes well for Watson on a pure he said, she said type deal.
Dan, before we take a quick break, do you think he plays football this year?
I know we're going to get into it. All I can tell you is this is a copycat league, right? Rob Manfred is dealing with a very similar decision with Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's placed on the administrative leave list indefinitely, right? He's a former Cy Young Award winner. He's not going to be playing for the indefinite future. I think that's what Watson's going to be facing. I think he's going to be on the commissioner's exempt list until this is cleared up. And I can tell you, litigation-wise, this will take a year to resolve. So unless he settles it ahead of time, I do not see this getting resolved anytime soon.
Dan, can you hold through a quick 30-second break? We want to talk about Trevor Bauer and then the Guardians and the Washington football team names as well. You got a couple seconds for us?
I got a couple minutes, guys.
All right. All right. Dan Lust, the star, the sports attorney to the star, joins us here on The Hook. Keep it right here on Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom Team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
We're back on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Azoy, Pilar Lastra, and the famous DMac in the house. And we've got our good friend Dan Lust on the line with us, sports attorney to the stars. You can catch him on Twitter at SportsLawLust. And we left talking about Deshaun Watson, and we want to go to Trevor Bauer now. Here's a guy that we saw the pictures, what happened with him and his friend who he's had a lot of sex with, a lot of rough sex with, and she's decided that he went a little too far. So he's been off for almost a month now. He makes $1.5 million per week, by the way, during the baseball season. That's a lot of cheddar to be sitting around and just hanging out. Word on the street, Dan, is the players on the Dodgers don't want him back. What's your take on this whole thing? Do we see Trevor Bauer anymore?
I saw the LA Times article where you're sourcing it from. I also saw an article last week that the Dodgers players were also unfollowing him on Instagram. So my generation, that's a very big move. It's a big move. You make light of it for your older demographic, but going out of your way to unfollow a teammate who signed a multi-million-dollar deal is no small thing. So I guess a couple things. So I keep mentioning in this he said, she said type deal on the Watson case. That just means like who believe, left or right? Someone's going to be more credible. Trevor Bauer's is a little more dangerous from a legal perspective. The allegation, you guys can look it up online. It's out there. But the main one that I want to focus on is that there was a consensual interaction between adults. And at one point during that interaction, the allegation is that it became unconsensual, and specifically was the point where this individual was rendered unconscious, and something happened while she was unconscious. So, if you want to buy Bauer seemingly in his attorney statement is saying that everything was consensual. And that agreed to happen was consensual. The problem is there's two very different things between consent between adults in a bedroom and consent that's going to fly in front of a judge. There are some courts in this country that legally say that you cannot consent to things while you're unconscious. So that's why Bauer is facing, it's not really he said, she said. It's whether the thing actually happened, right? It's a tough one for Bauer, and I read this, and I know you guys as fans are listening to this on the Watson front. I wanted to make sure I get, Tom, you pointed it out. Who's paying Trevor Bauer's salary right now? The Dodgers. Who's not playing for the Dodgers? Trevor Bauer. There is no trade market for Trevor Bauer right now. I am shocked, really I am, that there is a trade market for Deshaun Watson. I think it's very likely he gets placed in the administrative leave list for a significant period of time. So why would you trade for him before he's placed on that list? When you have a nuclear asset and you're paying him billions of dollars. I don't understand it. The only thing I can gather is that these rumors are coming from Watson's camp. He just wants to get out of Houston immediately. But if I'm a GM, I'm waiting for that decision to be made, that he's placed on the commissioner's exempt list, and then that price really goes down from about 3 first-rounders to maybe pennies on the dollar.
Well, I actually do think that it's Deshaun Watson's attorney who's saying that there's still continuous offers on the table. So I think you're actually right that it is his camp that's trying to make it seem like, hey, everything's okay. We're going to come out of this clean, and Deshaun Watson still has a future in football. So I think you're right on that.
I'm winking here. They're obviously, and their Texans have miraculously made him available for trade. Finally, they've decided now they're going to get rid of him, just for the first time, of course.
Yeah.
Talking to Dan Lust at Sports Law Lust. You can check him out on the Twitter. And like you said, his generation, well, it must have happened by somebody in our generation, Maz, that forgot something. But can you please explain that Cleveland changes their name to the Guardians, but somebody else owns the name?
It's a roller derby team.
It's a roller derby team.
They own at Cleveland Guardians.
How does this stuff happen? And where does Cleveland go?
Listen, Cleveland's going to have to take out a check and just write a blank one because they're kind of in it at this point. Cleveland announces last week there was some rumblings back in May that they were leaning towards the Guardians. So if you're kind of paying attention, you saw it. But yeah, they announced last week that they're going to go with the Cleveland Guardians. So I got a tip from a friend of mine over in Cleveland that was aware of the roller derby team. I'm not sure how many fans they have, maybe double digits, maybe right around there. If you go to right now, if you can do a fun exercise, you go to clevelandguardians.com, the name of the new Cleveland Indians, and it's a roller derby team, right? You go to
That's great.
It's the roller derby team. You go to guardians.com. This one's my favorite, right? Yankees.com, redsox.com. We know where those go. You go to guardians.com. It's up for sale to the highest bidder on GoDaddy.com. So, I get that they like the name. I guess it has some historical significance, but you can't put the cart before the horse. You can't announce that's the name and then say, oh, by the way, we forgot to kind of tie up all these loose ends. You've lost all leverage, right? And now you just have to cut a check. So it's very problematic.
How the hell does this happen? They're a professional team.
I'll tell you, their attorneys weren't making sure that all intellectual property was going to be secured before that they
Who's your trademark lawyer?
Yeah, before
Look
they
at Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks voiced the promo.
Don't blame that on Tom Hanks,
No, I'm just saying it was great.
Right.
I'm like, I got
putting
excited.
money into it,
So,
but let me ask you this, Dan. At this point, can they just change the name again?
No.
Why not?
They can, but without looking really stupid. Can I say stupid? Can I say stupid on the show? Yeah,
you can.
You can say all kinds
anything.
of stuff on this.
And we're in Detroit, and they're in Cleveland, so
we hate that.
Maybe it's apropos. I don't know.
So, I imagine, my tweet that kind of went viral was, did they Google it? And, I'm sure someone Googled it, but what I can't for the life of me understand, let's say we gave them credit that they Googled it, that they understand the sports teams in their market. Right? This is not Cleveland, Hawaii, or Cleveland, New York. It's Cleveland, Ohio. They should know, right, the teams that are existing under their roof, in their jurisdiction. But let's say they knew about it. Let's give them credit. What was the rush to announce that name change, right? Let's say I'm the trademark lawyer for the Cleveland baseball team, right? I know I want to go with Cleveland Guardians, but I'm playing a little poker, right? I want to hide my hand a little bit. I'd go to the Cleveland roller derby team and I'd say, hey, I'm deciding between 5 names. I'm not sure which name I'm going to go with. What if I throw you like $50,000 for this thing and just call it a day? And the roller derby team probably says, you know what, I'll take $50K. What do I care? I'm a roller derby team, and no one watches any of my games anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Here's $50K. Right? But the way they did it was backwards. They announced to the public, we're going with the Guardians before, right? They settled up all these different websites and all this other fun stuff. So, I'm reading the trademark filings. It looks like there's a fight going on behind the scenes. We'll see what that check is that's going to have to be cashed. But seemingly like a big one, unless they want to unwind and go with a name like the Cleveland Spiders or one of these other big names.
They should have gone with the Cleveland.
Spiders
love the Spiders. I love the Cleveland Steamers. They weren't going with those.
I'm sure they don't love that. I'm sure they don't love that.
Listen, if I was that roller derby team, I'd be every Friday night at the stadium. I'll be parading my girls around the warning track. I'm going to make that kind of deal. You're going to pay me, and you're going to sponsor me in my next season.
It's like the disco night and the White Sox.
Just
but
bring them back. Bring back disco demolition
innings.
night, whatever the hell you want. But I wanted to ask you about the Redskins, the Washington football team name. There's a guy in Washington or wherever the hell he lives, basically trademarked every single red tail, red whatever in Washington. Every name that they wanted is trademarked already, Dan. What are they going to do?
So, Tom, I know why you're asking me this, because I put a really fun poll up that asked which team is more incompetent in the way they changed their name, right? Cleveland or Washington. I had some fun with it. Warriors can have some fun. The poll ended up being Cleveland, because I guess we hate Cleveland on the show, which is fine. I'm just stating the numbers. Numbers don't lie. My vote is actually for Washington. Watch a South Park that's, listen to this and for you guys. Washington lost the trademark about 4 or 5 years ago, and South Park did that fun episode when they, you can watch. It's in the archives. But, we knew that name was not going to be protected at some point, right? And so Dan Snyder, in his infinite wisdom, goes, we will never change the name Washington Redskins. It will always be Redskins. So, you need to have a backup plan, right? You run a $1 billion NFL franchise, have a backup plan. So this guy, Martin McCauley, shout out to him. He's some random actuary over in Virginia. For the next 4 or 5 years, he starts dropping some coin, a couple $1,000s, and corners the market on every Washington name you can imagine. Washington Monuments, Washington Red Tails, Red Wolves. So, the Washington Post had a story that the Redskins had a name they liked, but it was under somebody-only intellectual property. So this is, maybe a man of the people, Martin McCauley. He's making the Redskins look really dumb. Washington.
How much is he going to make?
This might be the only way to get Dan Snyder to sell the team.
His wife owns it now.
You have to, in order to own the trademark, don't you have to show proof of use for
you ready? He created a website where he's selling mugs and T-shirts with the logos on them. And people that hate the Washington football team are buying them to prove that it's commercial use. The guy is very smart. The guy is a very smart troll over there.
And you have to prove use.
He is.
No, I know, but I guess if they're buying them from all over, because I say from outside of the state in which he's incorporated in.
But could Cleveland baseball team just kind of roll over the roller derby team? No pun intended, I'm sure. But that's not the point of trademark law. It's the first one to put it into use and to put it in a real, actual way. So, some can say what Martin McCauley is doing is a little bit of bad faith, and maybe what the roller team is doing after being dormant on Facebook for 3 years, all of a sudden they start posting, we're excited for the 2022 season. A little bit of bad faith. You know what? Right, but instead of paying the lawyers to fight them, maybe you pay the legal fees to the roller derby team. Maybe you pay the legal fees to Martin McCauley. So there's a method to the madness over here.
Hey, you nailed it, Dan. If whoever was on guard was for the Guardians.com was asleep for 3 years, and all of a sudden it went beep, 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 and they got all these. Maybe they got more fans and stuff now.
Hey, Dan, if you're Martin's lawyer, and you should be, how much are you asking Washington for to release some names?
Well, Washington's a little trickier because they haven't announced the name. But if you ask me the same question on Cleveland Guardians, I think that's a 7-figure check. I mean, I don't know how you get around it without looking idiotic, right? How much do you pay?
Yeah, $1 million at least.
Wow.
I was thinking 5. I was thinking in Washington he's going to get a lot more. Probably double.
How much do you pay your PR team to make you look good, right? You know what's going to make you really stupid? Having to change the name because you don't have the website or the Instagram account. Why don't you just, put that money, if I'm his lawyer, I'd be saying that. Put that money that you're going to pay your PR team to unwind this mess and put it in my pocket to make your life a lot easier.
Dan, thanks so much for coming on with us today, Dan.
Great
Dan
stuff,
Lust,
Dan.
the sports attorney to the stars. Check him out at Sports Law Lust. And congrats on your new little girl, man.
Congratulations
My
on the
pleasure,
new
guys.
baby.
Anytime. You guys have a lot of fun here. With a last name like Lust, I feel like this is
I mean, it's
You're
a
perfect for this
fit.
show.
You got to come on more often. We loved having you on. You're
Thanks,
great.
Dan.
Anytime, guys.
All right,
buddy.
Dan, try to get some rest. Dan Lust, a sports attorney. Again, you've heard him across all big platforms, ESPN, CBS, Fox Sports, all of them. You can follow him on social media at Sports Law Lust. Good stuff there. All right, guys, keep hitting us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. Of course, you can also give us a call, 313-552-6322. When we come back, Maz is going to get to his amazing sports update, and there's a lot of great stuff in there you don't want to miss. So stick around. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to the newest Bridge Street Exchange, not only in downtown Fenton, now in the Somerset Collection. Located on the second level, south side, right next to Lululemon and Starbucks, this is where you can get all the hottest barware, or men's grooming products, or clothing, or, oh, that's what you meant. Don't forget they got some cool hats too, and it's a lot of great local Michigan-owned companies that you're supporting. And don't forget, all under $3. You're such a loser. But for real, take advantage, 15% off if you come in here. Tell Kevin that Woodward Sports sent you. Or stop!
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network, live from MyBookie Studios. I'm Pilar Laster. We've got DMac back in the house with us today on this beautiful Tuesday that our good friend Tom Mazaway always hates. Well,
I thought it was
he likes
Wednesday
it.
today.
This is as good as best
is it
Tuesday.
Wednesday?
So
I
far.
actually thought it was Wednesday this morning.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
I almost
Yeah.
thought, like, wait a minute. Today's not my son's
But
birthday.
Maz,
Wait,
but
what
it's got a
happened?
football temperature outside. This is one of the better Tuesdays
It is.
of your hated Tuesdays.
It is. And happy birthday to your little boy.
Yeah, happy birthday, little Tony.
Little
Yes.
Anthony.
My
Little
little
Ant.
baby turns 1 today. I think I cried for about 45 straight minutes just holding him. Oh, where did time go? Where did time go? I miss you so much. And I keep telling him, do you remember a year ago you were still in my belly? And he's just like,
Mama.
Just like asking for more food all
Mama.
the time. I'm like, oh, I know. Time flies by. So cherish it, guys. All right,
Definitely.
Tom Mazaway, let's get to your sports update. Your claps are amazing, Fish. I just want you to know, somebody like myself who needed to really learn the art of clapping from working on Deal or No Deal for a long time. I mean, you got to be careful if you're too wild and crazy. Like, see all this arm that jiggles at the bottom? You got to like tighten it up and keep it here. Your claps are on point. You got a Deal or No Deal clap, Fish. All right, Tom Mazaway.
Let's do it.
Let's get to your sports
Dan
update.
just thanked us, by the way, for having
he
him
was
on. So I had to
amazing.
write him back and say, you rock, man.
He was absolutely amazing.
We'll
Our
definitely
social
have him
media
back.
loves him.
I
He's
know
got
where I'm
great
going to go
info.
with some. Like, it's great to have these questions
Yeah.
and answered a lot of things about what to expect or what to look for next, and hearing from a lawyer, right, and to say, is this the usual way? So to say that Tony Busby to do that in the media, but no, and to break it down, so it's weird for him, it's weird for us. Weird is weird, I guess, no matter what. And he even said, look at it, even a lawyer
Welcome to
could be funny.
2021.
Yeah.
There it is.
By the way, 2021, brought to you by mybookie.ag. That's right, our studio sponsor, and of course they sponsor our update. As always, use that promo code Woodward. They will match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. Bet baseball. Well, basketball's in the rearview mirror, but you can bet Olympic basketball. You can bet the Olympics as well. You can do whatever you want. A lot of great baseball games, including, last night, Tigers lose. We'll tell you about that. Tigers in Minnesota again tonight. Tyler Alexander. It's a bullpen game, so lots of arms tonight. Hopefully they could snap that 4-game losing streak. And, of course, they have lost 6 in a row to the Twins.
Matt.
What's the breaking news?
Tigers just activated Michael Fulmer, and in a corresponding move have DFA'd Ian Kroll.
Okay, Ian Kroll is DFA'd. We'll see if they put him in the minors, if he clears waivers. And Michael Fulmer, welcome back. Probably see him a little bit tonight as well. 8-10 the matchup, the Twins and the Tigers. They lost last night, 4 straight now, 6-5 in 10 innings after Robbie Grossman tied the game up with a 2-run homer in the ninth. They go and lose it in the 10th on a little blue pit. But Miggy with career number 495.
Here's the 1-0. Fly ball deep right field. That ball is gone, number 495. And the Tigers have tied it up.
There it is. In the countdown at Comerica, it is up. They will be home on Thursday against the Orioles, followed up with the Red Sox. Some good baseball coming up. By the way, Major League Baseball trade deadline, Friday at 4 o'clock, right here during the Hook. Lion veterans reported to camp today at Allen Park. The rookies already there since Saturday. They will start practicing tomorrow. Lions open the preseason in just a couple of weeks. Friday, August the 13th at home against the Bills. Just 3 preseason games this season. Aaron Rodgers back. Let's look at him walking into Packers camp. He and the Pack closing in on a deal that will allow him to play with Green Bay this season and then leave on his own terms next year. And he's restructuring his contract right now so Devontae Adams can get some cheddar. And it looks like Randall Cobb coming back from the Houston Texans. They're working on a deal to bring Aaron Rodgers' old buddy, Randall Cobb, back. Pistons on the clock for Thursday's NBA draft. Cade Cunningham, the consensus #1 pick. By the way, he gets a deal with Nike. He's got a pretty high shoe deal, the biggest in this year's draft class, at least. Vegas in the NHL trades Vezina-winning goalie Marc-Andre Fleury to Chicago. They shocked him with this. He has not even heard from the team yet, and he really does not want to move his family. They love being in Vegas. They go to Chicago for a minor leaguer. He might retire. Tokyo Olympics, the Americans winning it right now. 22 medals, 9 of them gold. China with 20. Russia has 18. Men's hoops tomorrow against Iran. The Americans lost to France on Sunday, 42-point favorites. The U.S. women won their 50th straight. They beat Nigeria by 9. Japan wins in gold in softball. They knock off the U.S. this morning 2-0. And Russia wins the gymnastics final. Simone Biles bows out with a medical issue. She says she's fine. I think she was just burned out. She didn't look good. If you saw pictures of her and all, she looked like she was like big circles under her eyes. This girl had the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she bowed out. They took silver, and she was there. So did Naomi Osaka. She lost in the 3rd round at home in Japan. On this day in sports, we go back to 1998. One of the better throws you'll see from right field coming from Jose Guillen of the Pirates.
The 3-2 pitch. Hit high and deep to right. Back goes Guillen, still going back. At the wall, it's off his glove. There goes Napier around second, headed for third. Look at that throw from right. Wow! What a throw from Guillen from the warning track in the air to third base.
The ball hits him on the shoulder, and he comes up firing. Nafi Perez all the way around second, out by about 5 or 6 feet.
Shades of
Roberto Clemente.
I saw Sammy Sosa for the White Sox. Gun Scott Livingston tagging from second to third. I was sitting behind Tiger Stadium. I was sitting on the third baseline, and in right field warning track, he tagged on a fly. Sammy caught it and threw a frozen rope that I watched, never like a missile. It was like a bullet. Boom, beat him third base bag. It was like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
What are you going to do on Friday, by the way? You're going to be busy on Friday. Saturday.
Oh, Saturday, yeah. Saturday, any of people down in Toledo are going to go cheer on the Mud Hens and throw out the first pitch at 6:40. Going to get down there, sign some autographs.
That's
My
great.
boy Dom from Mess Bucket Comics. We're going to have all the
Dominator's
going to
be with you?
Yeah.
It's a good bodyguard to have, too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Tom.
It's okay.
But yeah, so I'll be in Toledo. I'm excited. That's a great park.
And I missed one thing on the Olympics.
Yes.
A swimmer from Alaska won the gold medal.
Not only that.
Yeah.
17-year-old. They have one Olympic pool in Alaska. And
Yes.
She's the first female to ever qualify from Alaska for this sport, and she won the gold. So, Jacoby, congratulations. And if you get a chance, look for the victory party. And, we wish we could show you it, but we can't because
Copyright
stuff.
Oh,
Copyright.
we can't. Yeah, they were doing the viewing party, and
it
it
was
was
so great.
all these young kids were just going absolutely
Family jumping up and down.
nuts. Yes, it was so much fun to watch. Andrew, what do you have for this?
She's dropped 5 seconds within the last 2 years. And
She
100.
dropped 5 seconds.
Yeah, usually in
Amazing.
swimming in 100, you normally only drop in 100 like a second or two at best every year. So I mean, winning that gold for her, the extra year did help her a lot. So
What's her full name?
Lydia Jacoby.
Lydia Jacoby.
She's going to Texas. She's only she's gonna be a high school senior.
Isn't that
Congratulations,
crazy?
kid.
I mean, how amazing.
There's 11 teams on the U.S. swim team this year, the most ever. going
Yeah.
to
Awesome. And you know what? The Americans have been getting nipped second and third. They can't
Yeah.
bring those golds home like they've
No.
been. The girls have been waiting for them. The Australian girls are dominating in that pool.
Tonight should be a better night.
I hope so.
Ledecky's going to be swimming tonight. She has an easy victory.
Wait, you're on the swim team too, aren't
Yeah,
you? You're
I know.
a swimmer.
I know. Yeah, Ledecky's going to be in the 1500 tonight and the 200 free. She'll probably lose in the
She's
200.
got a chip on the
Now,
shoulder,
well,
too.
Ledecky was the one. She was favored to win last night, right?
She
got
didn't win.
silver.
She has not. She got silver in the 400, and then she has a 1500 tonight and the 200 tonight. So she has she has a big night tonight. It's a
2
long.
golds?
She'll probably end up winning the 1500 and the 200. She'll probably get second to that Australian girl
The one that beat
that's
her in
been
the 4.
coming out of nowhere. Australia's been having a great meet.
Yeah.
They've
no
been
doubt.
rocking it.
But you got to remember too, Maz brings up a good point, is that the world, for lack of a better
Caught
term,
up.
has been dormant for 2 years. So we haven't seen these names, and that we'd usually see, especially worldwide. So training don't stop.
No.
Go ahead, Fish.
All the American swimmers are not happy about having the finals in the morning over there, prime time in America.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Well, we have to watch them. They have to put them on, right? That's
So-
why
yeah.
they do it in the morning.
No, but it's live for us in
Right.
the night and for them in the morning.
1 in
and
the
I-
morning. It's 12
and I just-
12 at night by us. It's
And I just-
1 in the afternoon
Yeah,
for
they're
them.
getting pissed that they have to morning swim. But you know
Yeah.
why they're morning swim? Because of America.
Yeah.
Bunch of dingbats.
Okay.
I don't want a morning swim. I don't like it. It's like, why are you upset?
Okay, Fish.
Like,
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I don't mind. I mean, I don't.
like if other countries were angry, I would get that. But Americans are pissed at Americans for the broadcast. Like, why
And-
couldn't we just?
Andrew, don't you get up
Go
at
two
like
and
the
two
crack
together.
of dawn for practice for
Yeah,
swimming practice?
I don't know why they're all freaking out. I mean, there's prelims finals everywhere. I mean, I swim better actually in the morning. Whenever we do prelims finals at night, I always swim better in the morning.
Really?
By the way, other
always,
countries
your
train
body,
for it, too.
your body's waking up, your body's getting started during the day. Like you swim in the morning, and you have to get back to your hotel room. You get tired, and then you have to go back at night. You have to warm up again. It's just a whole process.
The girl that I was thinking about wasn't. It was Lily King.
Oh,
was the
yeah.
one that was favored to win
Yeah,
last
she.
night.
I've heard she's a
But
jerk.
Then she's a character.
Oh,
No,
she's
jerk.
she's like
He said
she's
jerk.
she's like, oh yeah, I've heard she's mean.
Really?
Oh yeah.
The kid from Argentina,
Was she-
Titmus, is dominating.
That's Australia.
Yeah,
Ariana
yeah.
Titmus.
King though, I've heard things. Oh yeah, I've heard.
Really?
There were other countries training, knowing that mornings would be finals and nights would be
Yeah.
pre-wins for the next day. So I don't know why U.S.
They
didn't
should've-
get the
You know
memo.
what? If you're an Olympic athlete, it shouldn't matter. You should train to what
Yeah.
you have to.
Well, they obviously got the schedule in advance.
Yeah,
it wasn't like,
you should-
here you go.
But
What-
the athletes are used to having morning sex during the Olympics. Now that they're not allowed really to have sex, they have those cardboard beds.
Let's
and
go,
they're not-
hookers.
And the condoms aren't out there. You know, it's different. It's difficult. circle. They got to change their way.
But they're used to Maz, they're used to swimming in the morning anyway, whether it's the finals or not.
The U.S. athletes are not having enough sex. That's the problem.
Let's
go,
hookers. That could be true. But I'm just saying they're swimming in the morning regardless whether it's finals or not.
Yeah,
so I don't know why they're all
Fish.
crying like LeBron James. Everyone's turning into LeBron James on
It
the
all,
U.S.
it all comes down to having sex, Fish. That's it. Exactly.
My goodness. All right, guys. Well, when we come back, we're going to
people at the network are turning into LeBron James.
Pick your best NFL team. If you're only given a $15 budget, we've done this one before. We had a lot of fun, so now we're going to come back with part 2. So stick around. Let's have some fun. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Hey everyone, it's Maz for our good friends at Legacy Partners Insurance. Remember, it's not easy to shop for insurance. We all know that. We don't really want to get insurance, but you need to have it. So why not have the best shop for you? Get a local agent that knows the local insurance market. That's Legacy Partners Insurance. They're independent, so they get lots of quotes. They make the carriers compete for your business. For personal, they shop between 7 and 10 carriers, and for your business, over 50 carriers for commercial accounts. They've been doing it for over 100 years, so you can trust them. They got their own website, and it's designed for us here at Woodward Sports. It's legacypartnersins.com/Woodward Sports. It takes you to a landing page, asks you for a name, and the best way they can get in touch with you, email or phone number. They'll check it out for you. It's a free call. It's a free check. It doesn't cost you a dime to see if you got the right coverage at the right price. You can call them too, 586-209-4106. Make sure you tell them Team Maz sent you from Woodward Sports.
Is that 32?
Welcome back to
Number
The
6.
Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Yes, that is number 6. In case you guys want to hit us up on our social media at Woodward Sports and say, you know what, go back to that number 6 song for the intro.
Matt don't like number 6. It's been scratched.
What's 32?
32 is the OJ.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, I like the OJ.
The OJ, 32.
That sounds like a creeper. That
Mike G wanted 32.
God, does that have Allie written all over that or what?
Oh, my.
Wow, now I saw Mike say 32 for Maz. So
It's got a stabbing rhythm to it.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, as the closest thing you know to a musician, Maz, that I would say that was a great analogy.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, let's have a little bit of fun with picking our NFL teams. If you're only given a budget for $15, we're going to put up a graphic where each player is worth a certain amount of dollars. You only have $15, though, so it's not like you can go, high dollar here.
This one's from at
Who
NFL
would you pick out?
at NFL_stats. At NFL_stats. This is part 2. We already done the other one. Now we'll try this one. Different players in this one. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I picked Aaron Rodgers. So first off, I built my team around the player that I looked on there and said I must have, and that was Tony Gonzalez. So I spent all my money on Tony Gonzalez. So after that, I built around it. And so I went Aaron Rodgers for $4 buckaroos. Then I went with Maurice Jones-Drew for $2 because I love Maurice Jones-Drew. And then I went Anquan Boldin for $3. Give me that 2003 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year for $3. I'll take it all day long. And then because I was really only left with $1, I went with Wes Welker and was hoping that this was Wes Welker when he played for the New England Patriots and had Tom Brady throwing to him.
Did you spend your whole 15?
I did. That was $15 even.
All right, Mac, you take it.
I had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback for $4. LaDainian Tomlinson as my running back for $4. Marvin Harrison, my receiver, for $4. Then I took the other receiver. I'm hoping for the productive Wes Welker, and my tight end, I took Dallas Clark.
Okay.
Well, as usual, I've got the best team.
Are you?
I do. No. I've got the best team because I got the 2 best players in the draft. I got
Walter Payton.
I got Walter Payton and Randy Moss. That's where I spend my money.
But you have Tony Romo throwing to him.
I got Tony Romo. I love Tony Romo.
Tony can't get it to
Sure,
He's not a closer.
Randy runs too fast.
He can
He's
close.
not a closer.
He's got little hands.
I got Romo. I love Romo.
Put it up for.
I love him.
point.
I'll take him any day on my team. I got AJ Green and Zach Ertz. There's my 15. Romo, Peyton, Moss, Green, and Ertz.
I like your team.
Thanks, man.
But I'm gonna literally key on Moss.
Do you want
injure
Zach
him
Ertz from
first
last
play.
year because he didn't really do
No.
much? But
No, if you're going to take
I love
Anquan
grilled
Bolden
cheese.
from 03. Alex, who do you have? What's your team?
Okay.
You had
hang
like a
on.
month to look at this.
He's never heard of 8 of these guys.
That's true.
Yeah, really. This has been in the prep for 2 weeks. Okay.
Maz, can you please stop bullying your son?
I know. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Why deserves it? I'll send him to his
That's
room.
what happens
You can
because
only
for
spend
2 days,
$15.
for 2 days in a row, Alex, you've been talking back to him, and
She has.
so
She
Papa
has.
Bear don't like it. He's trying to lay down the rules. But don't you worry, Alex. You keep doing you.
Thanks, Pilar.
Well, you better watch it because your son has all the controls.
I know
So
that.
I would be a little more cheerful and
I'm trying.
and happy.
I mean, you really have the controls, Fish. You can mute and unmute his mic.
Yeah, I
can't.
think you have more
yeah,
control.
but you
Fish.
have the video, which is more powerful than audio. Because Maz
Oh,
can
no, no. You can
but
mute
Maz can
somebody's
take a piece
mic.
of
You're right,
paper and
Joey.
write words, or he
Awful-
can sign language.
awful
Maybe
list.
Maz knows sign language.
Do you know sign language? You don't.
No.
Back in the day,
Maz can use
I
his
took,
phone.
I
Alex
took
can
sign
zoom into
language in high
Maz's
school.
phone and then
I took
typing.
sign language senior year in high school. I don't remember
Fish,
it.
I want to
Well,
have
stuff
a
Maz
secret
can do.
code between you and I that when I give you this code, you can.
It's 420. Jesus, Mac.
The peeps requested.
Oh,
I can't
my
let him do
God.
it
It's
alone.
all for you guys.
D-Mac.
Did you
At
just
least-
puff on the air?
Yeah,
Yes.
because the boys said it's 420. We've been, hey, thanks for paying attention. We've been doing it about 5 or 6 different times.
Yeah.
That one you just noticed.
That makes sense now.
So I want a secret code with you, Fish, where when I give you this code, you mute somebody's mic.
I've not muted anybody's mic yet.
Well,
so we'll
we're
see
Alex,
about
if I get
to.
really
Do you have
angry
your
at
picks?
someone.
Because our guest Anthony Broome is coming up. We got to talk Big 10, Big 12.
Then
SEC.
I'm just gonna pass because I know if
We
I'm gonna
also
take
have-
the time to look at all the players and
Okay,
then do
well, you
the
have
math,
a
you're gonna
little bit
yell
of
at me.
time
So
Looks like we
because
got breaking news.
Corey is just coming into
Oh,
our studio,
awesome.
which means,
screw me then. Who cares about my team?
well, it's just that we're going to have
Absolutely.
some breaking news.
It's
Corey,
taking you 15 minutes to pick it.
Oh,
We were talking
Hey,
about.
Maz, please do not mute your son. Okay?
Corey Woods, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How's Allen Park?
Well, I don't know. I don't go to tomorrow today. I was just going around town filming my training camp preview.
I know.
For
I
tomorrow.
retweeted that sucker.
So
Good,
you didn't get
got
to go,
good
did you
5
go to
minutes,
the
everyone. Check them out.
Rookies training camp. You didn't go that.
Well,
Jack Goff was there.
the rookies reported on Saturday, so
Yeah.
the actual training camp is tomorrow. Veterans reported today, but just came in there because earlier today, the Lions had moved one of their defensive tackles to the injured reserve.
Oof.
Well, not injured reserve. Keep saying it's reserve. The reserve retired list.
Oh.
And now they just went ahead and claimed somebody. So they claimed Bruce Hector off waivers from the Titans. Pretty much just to fill a gap. And that's it.
Any
Who'd
relation
they
to
put
Johnny
on the-
Hector of the Jets back in the 80s?
That I cannot
Who'd they put on the
accurately
list,
say. that I cannot speak to.
Who
but
went on
you
the
know,
retired list? Who did I
well,
miss?
the Brian Price earlier today. They moved Brian Price to the reserve retired list. He signed with the Lions on June 1st. So
Brian
pretty much
Price,
just to
we
say
hardly
he's-
knew you.
Yeah, pretty much say he's out of here. So yeah, just a new guy. Bruce Hector.
So when's Golden Tate signing, Corey?
Hopefully soon. I don't have any intel on that. I mean, just out there as a,
How about Todd Gurley?
I believe they wanted Todd Gurley to come around earlier than now, but again, training camp has just started. I wouldn't have expected to see Todd Gurley to be at OTAs or minicamp, but they do need some depth. So
yeah,
we'll see. They got some roster spots open. Not many, but
yeah.
What do you think?
Well,
What
either
happened?
one
What do you
would be
think
a
about the
great
Packers now with Aaron Rodgers and maybe Devontae Adams and maybe Randall Cobb here in another couple of minutes?
Hey, nothing's gonna change. I had this team as a 5-12, 6-11 team. I felt that if Aaron Rodgers was not gonna play, then you could add 2 to that, and then make it like.
Oh, you're going to sweep the Packers without Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, without Aaron
I think
Rodgers,
so,
I don't have any
without
faith in
Aaron
Jordan
Rodgers.
Love.
Why not?
Yeah.
But now that
And then
Aaron,
without Aaron Rodgers, there was possibly no Adams either. So
yeah,
it
but not,
changes things.
yeah, but
there.
now with the boogeyman back in.
Yeah.
It's all
I'm
good,
sticking
man.
with the 5-12, 6-11.
Hey, get us
All
some
right,
get us some
Corey,
players
well-
tomorrow, man. Get us some action. I want some good audio.
Well, you know what? Tomorrow's going to be my first actual training camp, so I'm going to go out there, going to see what the lay of the land is, and from there, I'll know how to go ahead and finagle and start getting some.
Just stick a mic in their face.
Some bomb content for us.
Just stick
You know
a
what,
mic in
Corey,
their face.
I have nothing but faith in the amount of great content you're going to be producing.
Thank
us.
you.
You do some good stuff, and you keep doing you, my man. You're doing
Will-
great.
will do.
But thanks for that update on the Lions' defensive changes. This is a big year for the Lions' defense. I mean, we got a new defensive coordinator. This is a guy that we get, Aaron Glenn. He was actually able to turn around the New Orleans Saints defense. They were one of the worst defenses in the league. He got around to and he made them to one of the best defenses that people were going up against. So hopefully he's going to be able to do that here with the Lions as our new defensive coordinator. But a lot of weight on Aaron Glenn's shoulders, that's for sure. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we've got Anthony Broome joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about what is going on with Oklahoma and Texas as they are leaving the Big 12 and could be heading to the SEC. What should other conferences do? What should the Big 10 do? What should all the others do? Well, stick around. We've got Anthony Broome joining us. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Happy Tuesday, made in Detroit, 8 Mile Vodka. Yes, don't tell me what, tell me who. Distilled in 90-liter batches, aerated, carbon filtered for optimal, exceptional taste. Actually, award-winning, the Sippers Award last year. Very proud of them. You too can get this anywhere you go, to any Meijer in Michigan or to your local bar. Ask for 8 Mile Vodka. But if you do drink responsibly.
That's number 25 for you, by the way, Matt.
That's a good one.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway, Pilar Lastra, and, of course, the great Darren McCarty. Fish is in the house. So is my man Andrew and Alex, my son, the boss, running things. I got my Darren McCarty, number 25.
Oh, you got the Darren McCarty
Weed
brand.
Pincana, or whatever you, what is
Pincana?
it? Pincana, there you
Yeah,
go.
the Darren McCarty
DMac
brand.
just took a puff a couple of minutes ago. Let's see.
It was 420, Maz.
7 minutes ago.
The people requested it.
Okay, we're
On
good.
social media, hit us up at Woodward Sports. You can give us a call, 313-552-6322. But if you request it, DMac will do it.
Our good friend of the show, Anthony Broome, my former intern way back in the day at Detroit Sports 105.1, is here with us. Maize and Brew, and we talk Michigan football with him. We talk college football as well. He put out a great article today on what will the Big Ten have to do now. They're not in a lot of rush right now to maybe go out and maybe hook up with the Pac-12, maybe make it a really bi-coastal super conference, because today Texas and Oklahoma formally asked the SEC permission to join the party. And Anthony Broome joins us. What's up, bud?
Welcome. I'll always be your intern, won't I?
That's right. You will. You'll always be my guy. I'm always proud of you. That's why I say it.
It's a fatherly love. You know,
He knows that.
I appreciate it. It means the world to me.
He sees your level of success, and he's nothing but proud.
Gets better every time. Writing gets better every time on the air. So, Ant, take us through what's the shakedown from Oklahoma and Texas splitting out at a Big 12? That conference is probably going to leave and disband, I think, unless it goes back to the Big 8 again. And now what happens to everyone else?
Well, let's just do a little bit of math to start. So the Big 12 I think their conference payout from the TV contract or whatever the payout per school is with Texas and Oklahoma there was around 37 to $40 million a year. Those two schools leave, it's probably projected to be like $8 or $9 million a year per school. So that conference is dead.
Yeah.
They can try and add a Cincinnati or, insert a group of 5 schools.
Louisiana Lafayette, I heard. I heard
Sure,
a couple of
but
schools like that.
No, the Big 12, they say they want to push forward and that all the member schools are committed to making things happen, but it's the same way that a failed marriage, the two parties are committed to making things happen for the good of the kids. Like that conference is dead. And like I said, in terms of what it means, it's not surprising that the almighty dollar is what rules over everything, because that's what this is. The SEC, so the Big Ten, when we're talking about TV payouts and school payouts and things like that, every school gets about $54 million per year, which makes them the most lucrative conference in the country right now. Their TV deal is up in 2023. One would think it's only going to get bigger from there, given Ohio State, the brand names that they already have. Adding Texas and Oklahoma from the SEC side of things, like if that doesn't push them up against that, it might vault them into that top spot. Because I think they might have a TV deal coming up here soon as well. But yeah, we always knew that money and power and rivalries be damned, traditions be damned. College sports, we keep hearing about how we're at this inflection point right now, how we're, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, so to speak. We are entering a transformative era of college sports here. And like I said, is it great for Texas, who hasn't won the Big 12, and now you're going to go play in the toughest conference in the country? No, but what's the root answer to everything? Why did this happen? What's the decision-making process? It's money. It's money, and it's power. And as the SEC, I don't think we're imminently looking at a super conference thing, but little by little, I can see them wanting to kind of play the game of risk and going into more territories and doing that. We are on a speeding freight train to what I think will be eventually, if not just a Power 4 conference setup, because the Big 12 is dead, right. And I think that process is going to be expedited with these other schools trying to secure their footing. But maybe we do see. I think eventually we will see there is no NCAA involved in this. It might just be these Power 4 conferences or Power whatever, whoever's left, governing the future of college football, I should say.
Talking to Anthony Broome, Maize and Brew podcast. So my question is, what does this mean for the Big Ten? And does that mean that they go out and they purge a couple teams, or are they looking to strengthen, or what? To me, all of this coming down with the name, image, likeness, and then everybody sort of making their own decision and like you said, pulling away from the NCAA, making their own decision because they have that money. What does this mean for, the teams and let's just say the Michigans and the Michigan States?
Yeah, I think the Big Ten, like anyone else, they're giving the very PR answer of, we're willing to explore all of our options. I can say based on what kind of the buzz out there is I don't think the Big Ten's in the rush to add anyone, because there's not a Texas and Oklahoma equivalent that you can add to kind of soup up your conference in the arms race. Now, you could try for Notre Dame, but we know that that's a school that, we're talking about TV money and payouts. They have no incentive to join a conference.
Eventually they do.
They probably will eventually, but right now, the here and now, I don't think so. Assuming the Pac-12 is still kind of on somewhat good footing, I think that conference could be a USC deciding to leave away from being in trouble too. If the Big Ten wanted to expand its footprint west, I could see that. But like I said, when we talk about there's not a lot of incentive for the Big Ten to add anyone right now, because you're already the most lucrative conference in the country. That's football driven as well. The TV deal's coming up, and if you can't add a USC or a Notre Dame, are you really going to rush out to add Kansas and Iowa State just to get that number to 16? No, because really all that does, that doesn't add any value to your conference. It dilutes. The quality of football. Especially Kansas. You talk about, people are already pissed that they still have Rutgers around. Now you
Maryland
add Rutgers 2.0 and Iowa State is basically another type of Maryland school. It kind of dilutes the quality of the conference. And like I said, it doesn't bring that added value. And when you go from this 14 to 16 without adding those schools that really bump up the value of the conference, then everyone's payout is a little bit less too. So there's not a lot of incentive there to do that. I think that if the Big 12, it's funny, the Big 12 was 10 teams, now it's 8 teams, and the Big 10 is 14. It's a nightmare. These names are all crazy and out of control. But with these Big 12 schools, if this conference goes under, they're going to need a place to go. So I can see where maybe the ACC absorbs a few, maybe the Pac-12 absorbs a few to get to, they're at 12, they want to get to 16. The Big 10 maybe takes 2 to get to 16. I could see a scenario where that happens, but I don't think that Big 10 is actively looking at making a play for this right now. Now, what we will see and what they're kind of the whispers are is maybe a rotating non-conference game slot between the Big 10 and Pac-12, so you could see Michigan and USC play. I mean, Michigan's already got a home and home with Washington on the schedule, but you can see those teams.
Won't that dilute the Rose Bowl?
Isn't everything diluting everything?
Yeah,
at this point, Tom? I mean, that's kind of just where we're at. So
it's like interleague play in baseball. Interleague play in baseball is passé now. I don't think anyone gives a damn anymore except the Yankees against the Mets and the White Sox against the Cubs. That's about it right now. But now Oklahoma and Texas, they say they're not going to go until the end of the contract because earlier I read they're going to pay $80 million each and get in there this year, next season.
Well, that's the legal thing they have to say is, we're willing to serve out our contract and do what we have to do and do right by the conference. But they've been doing this through back channels behind closed doors for at least a year probably. Yeah. So and they don't have to pay if the Big 12 falls apart and all these other schools are sent into a panic, into a frenzy. They have to go in the Big 10, ACC, Pac-12. Texas and Oklahoma don't have to pay a dime.
I know.
So they might have to. They're rooting for chaos, and it's really interesting because the Big 12 commissioner. So the official application from Texas and OU went out today. The SEC says, while we weren't actively looking to expand, which is crap. This has been going on for like I said, at least a year. You pay attention to the terminology because that's what the SEC will say, and that's what their legal backing for all of this is. But the statement from the Big 12 said, this was, it more or less said, guys, this is very clearly, none of our member institutions knew this was going on. This has clearly been in the works for over a year. So I guess the lesson, the old adage here is that billable hours and lawyering remains undefeated. There will be court stuff that happens. And I mean, I would be stunned. I think this will probably be something that's in effect in time for the 2023 football season. Some people think 2022. I guess it depends on how things happen, or if the Big 12 completely falls apart and all these member schools are in chaos. But 2025, under these circumstances, like it's not, that won't happen. There's no way. Things are happening too quickly.
Anthony, on our social media, I'm actually seeing a lot of comments about the money going into this. Somebody put glad they're paying so much money to change the conference, and then somebody wrote back, universities are privately funded, not public, or anyone could go to them. And then somebody else brought up the fact that these aren't private universities. These are University of Michigan, Texas. Those are not privately funded universities. They brought up a very interesting fact. Harbaugh is the highest paid public official in Michigan. This is going to be a very costly thing to do, and really, who's paying the bill for it? Because I know that my taxes go towards funding some of these universities, and is this really something that needs to happen? What's the real benefit of this financially? Are they just being irresponsible?
Well, I'll use the line from Arrested Development. There's always money in the banana stand. Schools like Texas, schools like Oklahoma, they've got, just think of, even if you take out of those schools, think about all of these schools who are paying these coaches they fire tens of millions of dollars just to not even be there. So these people are rich. Rich people have lots of money, and they tend to pool their money together to make things like this happen if they can make more money. So, like I said, the morality of
for
it.
this to happen? The universities are paying for this to happen, and who's funding those universities?
Right, and that's the key. That's the ethical kind of like key behind it too. Is like that's where the best PR thing for Texas and Oklahoma to have happen is that the Big 12 does kind of fall apart and fold, and then they're off the hook for that, and they don't have to explain that because that's a lot of money. Hot take, $80 million. That's a lot of money, and where does it come from? I know that Texas is probably the biggest athletic department in terms of revenue. It's up there with Michigan and some of these other powers. But someone that money's coming from somewhere. So I totally get the morality, I get the question, but it's the way that these people, these decision makers get their way around it goes, it might cost this, but we're getting this back down the road. And that's why they have more money than the rest of us, I guess. I don't know.
Oklahoma and Texas, they already have their schedules for this year. Is the Big 12 operating this year as status quo?
I think we're probably a little too far gone for them to not operate as status quo. I mean, this is going to happen. I think the 2021 season will happen. It will probably be pretty awkward. I'm sure some of those environments will be pretty raucous. But like I said, depending on how, like I said, these are going to be things that will sour relationships, interpersonal relationships between universities. There's been some sketchy back channel stuff going on behind the scenes, which is not surprising to anyone who's ever followed college sports in any capacity. It's probably going to be a pretty awkward season, but I just think that, like I said, when they say we're going to honor this contract until 2025, I mean, we might be staring at a scenario where it would be surprising if by 2022 that these teams aren't playing in the SEC. So
They will be. Yeah. It's going to break after this season, no doubt about it.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Speaking of awkward, Ant, how about anything new with the whole Bo Schembechler fallout from a month and a half ago?
No, I think since last we spoke about that, it's been pretty quiet on that front. Like I said, the long and the short of it is that despite who comes out or says what, like the university is in litigation with 850, 900 some odd people. I'm not sure what the exact number is now. I'm sure that number continues to grow. The one thing I have heard is that, we've talked about statues and changing the name, is that I have heard whisper, and I can't confirm this, but there's been a little bit more, I won't say police presence, but maybe keeping an eye on the Bo statue and things that are going on there. But other than that, we haven't seen a acknowledgement of anything further from the university. I know that there are, these kind of these other groups of victims that are speaking out and wanting more from the university. And I think, everyone's stance continues to be what it has been on that, is that they just want to see U of M accept full responsibility and promise that this won't happen again. I know there are some from a week or so back. I think there was the university had announced some kind of policies to put in place that they're putting in place to either for training to ensure these types of things don't happen again. But there hasn't really been a lot of. It's been pretty quiet since like I said, maybe early June or whenever it was we last spoke about it here.
And lastly, how's the Michigan Wolverines looking this year? What do we expect out of them?
Oh, wow. I still haven't quite landed on a prediction for them yet. I do think, and I don't take a ton on it. Like I said, I was on here last week and we talked about how media days are kind of glorified pep rallies and everyone's in the best shape of their life and everyone had the best spring football of their life. The one thing I do take away from all that is I just think with the changes that are made, with the guys that are back, because this is too talented a team for them to go 4-8 or 5-7. I don't. The one thing I can confidently say is that the bottom probably isn't going to fall out. Now they might only win 7 or 8 games this year. I haven't landed on a prediction for them yet, but camp opens up on August 6th. We still have another week or so of the off season, which I'm holding on to for dear life before we get thrown right into madness. But like I said, I've been going through. We've been doing these podcasts on the site, previewing some of the other teams in the Big Ten, and we just wrapped up kind of the bottom half of it. And I don't. There aren't really teams that are projected in that bottom half of the conference where I could say, "Ooh, I think this team might be better than Michigan." So I can safely say that. It's not very bold to say.
Okay.
It's certainly not what people thought we'd be saying 7 years into Harbaugh, but that's in the process of me getting ready for the season. That's what I've landed on so far.
All right, we'll have you back, and we'll probably have you on a little vacations going on here. We'd like to maybe have you in on studio one of these days. What do you think?
Of course, let me know.
Now
that we're like somewhat post-COVID, to shake hands and see people and be in
Right.
person, I'm all for that. So
Actually,
anytime.
the
We keep our
CDC,
distance. We keep our distance.
the CDC is saying today that they want people to start wearing masks indoors again. Did you hear that?
I'll let you use my knife if you want it.
Well, that's breaking news to me. I don't know if we have enough time remaining in the segment to burn that one down. But
We don't. We'll see you soon, brother.
Yeah,
Of
we got
course,
to get you in
anytime,
the
Tom.
studio. It'd be great to have you
Anthony
in here.
Broome, Maize and Brew, and SB Nation. Follow him at Anthony Broome with an E at the end of that Broome. See you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right, Anthony, thanks so much for joining us. Great stuff. Make sure you're following him on where you can find his work. It's at SB Nation and at Maize Brew. And, of course, you can follow him personally at Anthony Broome, Broome. When we come back, well, DMac's NHL free agency shopping list. Let's have some fun. Don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drug Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate. Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Sure that is.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for our friends at PAM. The Public Adjusters of Michigan are giving you a chance to play golf with DMac. You can win a twosome in the third annual Darren McCarty charity golf outing on August the 6th at the Links of Novi. This event is totally sold out. The only way to get in is to win. And to enter for your chance, go to woodwardsports.com. Look for the PAM logo to register. Mac, what are we looking for on that third annual DMac charity golf outing?
Well, this is it's the Grind Time family golf outing. So the whole Grind Time family out there. Tammy's a good one. Ellen's a good one. They've been there before. So people in attendance. That's why I'm so grateful. And we didn't even announce this publicly or online before it was all sold out. So it's a support. And why it's important, it's because when I say don't tell me what, tell me who, these are all the people either I know or don't know but have supported me through my journey, not only as a Red Wing but continuing into life. So get your name, go to the PAM on the Woodward Sports website and get your name in. We're going to draw some of this, and hey, listen, it's a great time. It's a great time. It's a shit show. I'm just not involved in the shit show anymore. But I will govern. I have the govern shit show because I appreciate everyone. And when I say I'm a battery and you're my power, this is a way to be able to give back. So thanks to Team Valhalla and Nick and all the volunteers and everybody over at Links of Novi. So it's nice this year. 27 holes. We got a whole program set, but it'll be fun. It's coming up. Less than 2 weeks.
Hey, call Pam. Pam represents the insured for property insurance claims, homeowners, commercial property, fire, wind, and smoke. They get you the money. Why wouldn't you have them do it? Call PamFirst.com. And don't forget to go to woodwardsports.com to register for your chance to be win a twosome at the Darren McCarty Grind Time Family Charity Golf Outing. Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. All right. DMac, changes
Yes,
are being
big.
made into the NHL.
I missed yesterday. I know you guys covered it, but probably...
I didn't cover it. I waited for you.
Oh, you didn't cover
it? We did not cover any NHL. I want to put
Although
up first.
Tom Azaway does think he knows more hockey than you,
I do.
but we did not.
The NHL.com put out
Boy,
on
he
Twitter.
doesn't think he does.
By the way, before we go any further, Mike G on Twitter wants to know, what is Fish saying to Joik after he takes the ball out of his hands on that Woodward
soft.
Sports commercial?
Yeah, I said he's soft
Joint
and come to
belly's
New Zealand
soft.
to play real sport, and then I don't even know what the ending was.
You don't know what the ending was, so
No, I
you
do
don't
not.
know what you said
I
either.
do not know what I said.
Okay.
Wait till
So
you
those are
meet-
only 7 words that I
Okay.
know.
All right, so let's put up the tweet today from NHL.com on Twitter. This is the little shopping list that they put out. They always put out the big names, Mac, so we'll start there.
Yeah, so free agency starts tomorrow. So this is, and, you know, the big name on that list, if you see it, Gabriel Landeskog, who was captain in Colorado, and unless they get something done at the 11th hour. My only thing is I think that if this was next year, it'd be more pliable, but you never know what Stevie's thinking, you know. So you look at all these guys, you look at your New Jersey connection with the Palmieri. Blake Coleman's a good player, just won a cup. Dan O, good third-line centerman. Paul Stastny, who's been around. But, you know, these are guys that can play. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see. And, again, it's hashtag Wiser Plan to whatever. But
again, is it Wiser Plan or Iser Plan?
It's whatever I say it is.
Okay,
Naz.
let's check
So
it.
if I want to say Wiser, I'll say
Is it
friggin'
Steve? Is his name
Wiser all
Steve
day.
Weiserman?
No, it's a Wiser Plan by Iser Man.
I'm just fucking
Can't you understand it's a Iser Plan by Wiser Man?
Yes, I got it. Bro.
So it rhymes. You don't say his name twice.
I'm just
but
breaking
you
your
and
balls.
it's all right.
Fine.
I thought you were saying wiser plan, like the Y.
It's the Wiser Plan.
Oh, it could be the
Like
Y.
wise. Or
I love grilled cheese.
wise, like W-I-S-E.
I love grilled cheese.
But let's go back
Wiser
to the
Plan.
beginning if we have the graphics of the gentleman taken. Now, you go back to the draft, and what do I give? I don't really will give a grade because it's what Stevie wanted. I went...
That's day one.
No, I understand. As you look at the guys that we took...
I just wanted to put it up there for you.
What's that?
I just wanted to put it up for the people.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Anyways, what you did, and I was telling Alex earlier, if you listen to Steve Yzerman talk, he will tell you, because he said, well, you look at the way that the Tampa Bay Lightning back-to-back cup winners built their team. It was from the back end, the goaltender, the defenseman. Oh, well, he was talking about himself. You know that in the third way, so he's doing it again. That's why he drafted defensemen. And all these defensemen with the size are mobile. So that's the new thing, because then you can go onto that free agent list tomorrow, having cap space, and to offer a contract where it'll work out because you have the younger guys. Now, we were talking. I said it the other day. If Steve Yzerman thinks that moving up or drafting a goaltender was the best play, now you have Nedeljkovic and Kosa at 6'6", who by far was projected as the best goaltender out of there. It gives you a younger guy that can carry the number one job and a guy to come up. And at the end of the day, you either got a great 1-2 combo or you have another piece that can be moved for a final piece. So it'll be interesting. And again, this just tells you what Stevie's thinking. He's just letting you know what he's thinking. So tomorrow, by what he signs, and I expect him to go for value. I would expect Bobby Ryan maybe re-sign on a one-year deal like Eric Stahl did if he's healthy enough, but not a big commitment unless, you know, Landeskog is his guy, right? That's what we're finding out.
How about a guy like Jack Eichel in Buffalo? He's not a free agent. I understand that.
Right? Like if he was healthy and stuff, this is in a few years from now, 2 or 3 years from now, where you have a piece that you can actually go out and trade. So it's just it's early. Patience. But Alex, you had a question?
Yeah, well, I got 2 questions, actually. One of them you kind of already answered is, what do you say to the people that think we should have went after more scoring in the draft? And what are your thoughts on some of the smaller contract signings we've had in the last couple days? Taro Hirose just signed a 1-year deal today. Mark Stahl, another 1-year deal. And Lindstrom, a 2-year deal.
Absolutely. So nobody's getting... You got to earn what you got, and it's the building process of it too. He likes what he's got and giving guys opportunities, but it's building. And obviously what Stevie said is, no, we're going to take care of defense first, because what I've realized that I've scored 160 points in this league, and that got me nowhere until I became a two-way player and learned how to play from goaltender out. Well, that's the way I'm going to GM too. So
And scored the cup-clinching goal.
Right.
What?
And scored the cup-clinching goal.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Yzerman. He didn't score a cup-clinching goal.
I thought you were talking about yourself for a
No,
minute.
I was talking about Stevie that scored 160 points in this league. Realized that you can't win in this league by being an offensive player. Changed his game to a two-way. Won as a two-way player. Went to a GM and decided to build teams.
Pass that pipe over here.
Yeah. Well, no, I heard the
Pay
same thing.
attention.
No, I heard the same thing. I heard you
I would
say,
never not say anything about me and not drop my Stanley Cup
How many
winning
cups
goal
did you win?
or my 4 cups.
Okay.
Come on, Tom.
Gotcha, man.
You know me better than that.
I do.
Damn,
So
he's
I was
got
talking
four
about
cups.
Stevie.
Wow.
My bad. What's
yeah,
your
so-
Twitter handle?
Darren McCarty 4.
What's the 4 stand for?
4 cups.
Okay, just
All
checking.
right, guys.
He's got to be sick of that
There
joke
you
by
have
now.
it. So
Who?
that is
No,
You.
Alex, you never get you never get sick and tired about a Stanley Cup clinching goal. There's only so many of them. You know how many?
Oh,
100 and something. Anyways, in the whole history of the world. But the 4 cups, yeah, not many guys have that either. Thanks for bringing it up, Tom.
You're welcome.
Darren McCarty 4 on Twitter.
That's right. All right, guys. So there you have it. That's Darren McCarty's NHL free agency shopping list. Of course, we'll be keeping you up to date as hopefully these guys come to fruition and become Red Wings. All right,
But I
let's
digress.
get to.
Hey,
but I digress.
We
I
got
digress.
breaking
Let's
news from
get to-
baseball. Major League Baseball has extended Trevor Bauer's leave for the 3rd time. And we heard Dan Lust earlier today. He doesn't think he's going to wind up pitching anymore this year. And he doesn't think Deshaun Watson is going to be playing because he thinks that the NFL will slap the tag on him and say, Commissioner's exempt list. So
You
we'll
might as
see.
well make it for the rest of the season.
We'll see how this all works out. Yep.
Well,
He
you
can
brought up a
show
great
up to
point about
practice,
the
but
shield.
nobody's really
He's
expecting
going to
him
damage the shield,
to be
right?
there. Mhm.
Right. That's for Big Rod.
Nobody's expecting him to show up to any of the training camps. So we'll certainly see what happens
They
there.
already reported. Deshaun Watson reported.
Yeah, he reported, but he's not on the field. Nobody's seeing him
Got
on
it.
the field, right? Okay, so let's get
Punch
to
his card, it's ready to
me
get fined.
gusta or no me gusta. That's what it's all about. Let's get to me gusta or no me gusta. You guys know how to play along on our social media at Woodward Sports. If you like the comment I'm about to say, you say me gusta. If you do not like it, you say no me gusta.
Can I just Alex, do you have that picture from the draft party? I wanted to show the hookers.
Let's
there
go,
they are.
hookers.
Oh,
Let's
that's
go,
great.
hookers. So Tammy's there on the far right. And
Let's go, hookers.
Came to the draft party the other day. So
Didn't
thanks
Tammy
for,
sleep over and
yeah, and then went
so
to
she
the
could be first in
sale
line?
and-
Tammy's
yeah.
amazing.
She is.
Yeah.
How much
Wow.
paraphernalia does she have? Memorabilia.
A lot. And she's still looking.
That's
She's
awesome.
still
I love
got.
this.
You always ask her, and she's always looking at for something. She's big into like game sticks and stuff like
So
that.
she stayed overnight because the next day the Wings put out their garage sale. You know,
That's
for
amazing.
game used sticks, pucks, helmets,
I'd like to have that garage
jerseys.
sale.
Huh?
That's a wealthy garage sale.
Yeah, it's a hell of a
Oh, I
garage
bet.
sale.
Tammy, if you're
Sorry.
still watching,
I
let us
bet.
know how you slept that night. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
Tammy, where'd you sleep?
No, they
Yes.
all slept. I saw a
On a
picture of them
cardboard
outside.
box
They had
like they
some
do
of them
at the
had
Olympics.
cots and.
That's what she did. She made
Sorry
a
to-
cardboard
sorry,
bed
Pilar. I
like they
was-
do in the Olympics.
Probably
no, I
slept
love
in one
that.
of the parking lots there, right near Little Caesars.
No, they
There's a
slept
lot
Or
of
maybe
them.
in their
outside the
car.
door.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Right
you gotta-
outside the door.
You know what? This is what you do like on Black Friday. Remember at Best Buy how long
maybe
the
what
I
we
lines
love
did.
Black
used to be?
Friday.
It's fun.
I just like it for the fights,
I
personally.
mean, I guess. We used to have walkie-talkies, my sisters, and I was very
I love grilled cheese.
orchestrated
What's your
event.
favorite
All right.
sporting event? Fish? Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Well, especially when people fight over stupid things
That's a
like
holiday.
toilet paper or
It's ridiculous.
paper towel.
People don't need to fight over anything.
and
Not
when
on
I mean
Black
fight,
Friday,
it,
Fish.
it's
They're not
People
having.
don't-
yes,
No, but they do fight
Have you
over
seen Black
stuff.
Friday? They
All
don't
right.
just
They
fight.
do.
Is that
They
what we
knock
used
the
to
living
today?
hell out of
Black
each other.
Friday?
No, it's not. All
Have
right,
you
let's
guys
get
not
to me
seen Black
gusta.
Friday fights? You guys disappoint me.
There's tons of them. I've
Olympics
seen
and now
them.
Black Friday fights.
I've
What's
seen
wrong
people
with you
get
guys?
trampled on. It's not cool. People need to just chill out.
Why am I on a
See
show
that?
with you guys?
You
Fish,
see
we'll
that
talk-
fight in the pizza
What are you
parlor?
talking
me.
about? I'm agreeing
Nas?
with you.
You see the
No,
pizza
I'm not
parlor
talking to
fight?
you. I'm talking to
I
Man
did.
and D-Man.
Phew.
I saw the
That
pizza
was
parlor
wicked.
fight. That was wicked.
Fish,
All right, you
we'll
guys
have a
can talk
Black
about
Friday
this pizza-
conversation when it's actually Black Friday.
All
How
right,
about
big
that?
goose.
Let's
What's the
talk
news?
about this pizza parlor fight tomorrow because I want to hear about it. So me gusta or no me gusta?
How was your pizza today, Matt?
Oh my
brought you
goodness.
a slice.
Delicious, thank
I'm
you.
gonna pizza your face
you
with
enjoy
my
it?
fist
It was.
in a minute.
It was.
Where did you go?
Okay,
Brooklyn.
stop.
Okay.
Listen, guys, we got 2 minutes left.
Because
It's my son's
people
birthday. I have a
nowadays
massage planned
are
after here,
idiots.
so zip it.
You actually?
It is today.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Me
Is it
gusta
a surprise party
or
for
no
her?
me gusta? Well, I hope not because
We just go overtime.
Listen,
There
you
was
1-year-old.
Too much pressure.
By the way, Paul, I forgot to tell you, show ends at 6 today, not at 5.
It better not end at 6. I'm
Biles
sweating like a
and
dog in here.
Osaka. Too much pressure put on these girls. Me gusta or no me gusta? And I just want to point out before you guys give your opinions, not that I can ever stop you guys from saying anything, but last night, while I was watching the Olympics, they showed this incredible clip of Simone talking about the difference between her body and training now and what it was at 19. And she said how she feels the changes, not just physically, how her body aches all the time.
Allie Raceman is not even in gymnastics anymore.
Yeah.
And she says her body is still hurting.
She says it aches all the time. She also said that she thinks about the dangers to things now, which at 19 she never really thought about anything. She just did it.
Put Simone's tweet up there, Alex.
So now, she dropped out. She said, I'm okay, just dealing with things internally that will get fixed out within the next couple of days. Now, she wasn't able to land her vaults.
She didn't have it.
She absolutely wasn't there.
She
and
just
the
didn't
fact
have it.
Step out is honorable because of a team sport and stuff like this. But to being open and being her self-awareness that all
For
this
sure.
stuff is going on, she's not hiding, is going to
It's
help
passed her
everybody
by.
else. So I'm no me gusta as far as there was not too much pressure put on these girls. They've dealt with the pressure, whatever, like this. I think they're just becoming women. They are women. They're more women and different things. Their priorities have changed. So, God bless her. She's still the GOAT.
Yeah, no question. Tom, te gusta o no me gusta? No te gusta.
I say no me gusta. They're athletes. Yeah, they said there was a lot of pressure on them. And Osaka said it herself. She doesn't, she hasn't played the last 2 majors because she doesn't want to talk to the media. I mean, but they're putting it. I think they're putting it on themselves a little bit. But they're athletes. I say no me gusta as far as there was too much pressure. I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
All right, Alex, te gusta o no te gusta?
No me gusta. I don't think there was that much pressure just because, like, we've been talking about it ever since the Olympics started. There just hasn't been that much hype around this year's Olympics, so no me gusta for me.
All right, Andrew, te gusta o no te gusta?
Buckle up for
Okay.
Fish's answer. Fish, make
And
it quick,
Fish?
Oh, I will. I'm very proud of you guys. I gave you an applause. No me gusta. Good job.
You think that it's not the pressure?
Correct. And I'm happy you guys all agree.
Well, I haven't spoken yet.
Okay. Well, 98%.
Here we go.
I'm gonna say me gusta. I think that there is a lot of pressure put on these young athletes, but I think it's to be expected, right? You know that you're gonna have this kind of pressure, and honestly, I applaud somebody when they say this is too much pressure and the water's a little too hot for me. I don't want to play in it anymore. So I think that there is a lot of pressure just because of the sport and that they know it's a lot of pressure. And if you don't want to play under that kind of pressure, which I completely understand, then I think that the right thing to do is to say, I'm going to walk away for a minute. So there you have it, guys. Keep letting us know your thoughts on our social media at Woodward Sports. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We had a lot of fun on the show. Big thanks to Dan Lust. Make sure that you are following him.
What a name.
And Tammy goes under the knife tomorrow, so good luck to you,
Oh,
Tammy.
Tammy
Prayers
will be-
are with
Is
you.
Paul Boyer
Let us
operating
know.
on her?
I don't even know.
We don't want the equipment guy operating. No.
He's Good luck, Tammy.
All right,
No,
yes,
she'd be
best
in
of
much
luck,
better
Tammy.
hands with Pete
We're
Van
gonna be keeping you in our thoughts and our prayers. Also, big thanks to Anthony Broome. You can follow him on his social media at Anthony Broome. For Fish, for Andrew, for Alex, for Tom Azaway, and DMac, I'm Pilar Lastra. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
See ya.
Here's the 1-0. Fly ball deep right field. That ball is gone, number 495. And the Tigers have tied it up.
See what I'm saying? One swing can make the whole thing change. Miggy's